Hello everybody, how are we doing? I feel like the StarCraft sounds are so quiet today, no? No idea why. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm figuring out what we should cast first. We got a fun bracket today. Let me just bring it up on screen, I think, while I decide what we cast. And go through this with you guys. So we've got Max Baxt. He's going to be waiting for Firefly or Eber in the first round. That's actually honestly a very good game in itself. Ryung, Harstem, likely to meet in round 2. That's a good match in the round of 16. Bjorn will play Rex or Rebellion. Before anyone asks, yes, Bjorn qualified yesterday. Because this is a prize money pool event, we will let him play again. If he wants to raise the quality of our qualifier, go wild. Very likely that whoever gets knocked out by Bjorn on the way will get invited anyways for the most part. So it does not really do much harm to the players participating. It just raises the overall level of our qualifier. And there's prize money to play for. If Bjorn wants to play for that, he's more than welcome to. We're very happy to have more good games. Classic will play Chance or Honmono. Shin will play Nikoract or Lunacy. Zaun will play DNS or Nurko. Showtime will take on Hass or Shameless. I was looking at this one as a fun match as well. And then Gumiho versus Lemon or Triple. I really want to catch if Gumiho plays Showtime in this round of 8. I would love to see that. I kind of want to see the Ryung Harstem round of 16 if that happens. There's a couple of really cool matches today. I don't really know what to jump into in terms of just our very first series. You know, like that's where my struggle is at right now, basically. So, yeah. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. I'll also just clarify from yesterday as well. There was a discussion about Firefly. Because Firefly was accused of something. So, I actually got in contact with the Chinese community. And as far as the Chinese community seems, is that the current debate over what Firefly got a Team Liquid thread written up about him for was he's in debt to a fan, but it's not actually about match fixing, is what the Chinese contact I had told me. So until I hear otherwise, Firefly will be permitted to play in our tournaments if he does so wish, which today he chooses to. I'm really thinking what to cast first. I'm really trying to think of what to cast first. I kind of want to see Hass. I have not seen Hass for a long time. Hass Shameless could be very fun. Who's Harstem's opponent? Don't you know who that is? Wonder if I can find that out. Ah, it's Silky. You vote for any game with Protoss? Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of waiting to see what matchup just comes up on my, I'm just waiting to see what matchup comes up on the lobby links, because I'm kind of down to take whatever to start the day on. I'm not super picky. We'll give it a few moments, and we'll see where we go. Again, welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you're all doing well on Twitch and on YouTube. It's good to be here with another of our qualifiers ahead of our day off tomorrow. And then after our day off tomorrow, we do have our group stages. We actually have a Lima League replays on the Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, we're going to have our first group of this event. We're going to start doing the invite and stuff after today's qualifier. So that'll all be set up. Keeper and Firefly just went into a party. Screw it, let's do that. Keeper, Firefly, first round. Alright, so Eber versus Firefly, some PvZ to start off the day, guys. It was ready to go. I'm very happy to take anything that's ready to go. As we kick off into Snowpiercer for the opening game. So a little bit of PvZ action. Eber, Firefly. PvZ. Like I said, there's a lot of cool matches kind of taking place across the course of today's first round. Should be a good one. Genuinely looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a good little day of StarCraft 2. Let's get to it in the bottom left-hand corner with the red Protoss player. This is Firefly taking on the blue Zerg in the top right. We have ourselves Eba. Game number 1 of the best of 3, and we wait to see where we'll go to. Eba, UK Zerg player, youngster. Always fun to see him participate when he gets a chance in these events. Taking on Firefly, the Chinese Protoss, who was once kind of the new up-and-coming superstar in China. Kind of petered out, has his moments, but definitely nowhere near the consistency that we hoped he would have his moments at. And there was definitely a point in time where it felt like Firefly was really going to be the next big thing. And then they just went back to being all about Oliveira, so yeah. A little bit of PvZ to start us off today. There's a bracket full of fun matchups, fun players. We'll keep you up to date as best we can across all of the matchups that are happening and everything that's taking place as well. So we'll do our best to keep you guys fully updated there. Let's do have an Overlord. He's starting to head down to the bottom side of the map. So Overlord to the bottom left, next in the Cybercore building. A spawning pool on its way from Eba. And we get ourselves the hatch and the drone. Also in production here for the early stages. Nothing super crazy then in the first few moments. As we just have our... yeah, I mean, waiting for the tech basically. The Cybercore coming online gives us a tech choice. A tech choice will tell us a lot of what this game will look like, a lot of how this game may go. So we'll wait for the Cybercore. That will give us a good potential go-ahead on what we do next. So the Overlord does just step on forward here. You live for watching cannon rushes? Well, that's a... we had a game the other day, the delayed cannon rush by Hero, and then it worked. Like, that was such a weird game. That Hero, what was that in? Was that in the that was such a strange game. It was like the last game of a series or something. I can't remember what that was from. It was like a completely failed cannon rush, and then we just refused to deal with the Adepts, and the Adepts just won. I can't remember who that was between. I think it was Hero versus somebody, but I'm trying to think. Was there a Hero Shin series recently? I can't remember casting Hero Shin recently, but I feel like it was that matchup. Anyways, or maybe a Hero Rogue. Anyways, a couple of Adepts do step forward. The Stargate building up here from Firefly. Adept on the way. Warp Gate building. Another gateway coming online as well. As it's settled down for the moment. Queen's Gathering, link speed about to finish. Hatchery is going to be on its way up. And the Oracle building, the Warp Gate coming through. We do have the two Adepts working their way around the top side of the map, trying to see a little bit of what is going on. Oracles just going to finish, so obviously we got ourselves very well set there. The couple of Oracles combined with some Adepts, we know how much trouble they can cause. We know how much harassment can be found from that. As the Adepts to come up and around the top side, there is the Nexus going down from Firefly, so instant third base from him, no hesitation to put the third base down. So yeah, we got that third base down. Twilight Council are going to begin to build. And yeah, a couple more Queens and a few more Zerglings still coming up. As the Twilight and the Forge as we follow up from these Oracles. And interestingly, just the two Oracles, not going to build a third just yet. Let's see if one adds on here as he gets a bit more money in the bank, or if he really is just done with Oracle production. 2 is just funky because obviously 2 is a good amount to have on the map, but then a third is so good at being back defensively. These two Oracles come in, the Queens are going to be there to push the Oracles away immediately, so some damage done. The Oracles have to turn back into the center. A couple of Spores, Roadrunner, Lair, and Drones, all producing as well. As these Oracles get back to the top side, a couple of Spore Crawlers still coming out. Gateway is building in from Firefly. Yeah, those Oracles going to try and dive in toward the main base. See a little bit more of what is happening. A couple of Overlords building as well. So Overlord's coming up. The Evolution Chamber will start. Single Zergling here already going to go back and forth a little bit. Is going to patrol. Do you see a couple of Oracles continue down? Mostly yeah, +1 missiles and the Roach Tree coming in. Infestation Pit building in the corner as well, so we get that on the way. Again, a Zergling just moving on the left-hand side, +1 attack and charge continuing by. Robo Facility continues up in the main base as well. All these Zerglings going to go running forward. Going to see that this is charge, and obviously Firefly revealing, hey, look, this is what I'm up to. Maybe this is why just the 2 Oracles, right? Just, hey, I want to get charge +1 ASAP and just hit you in the face. Eva has a lot of roaches on the way. Perhaps to build, I guess, an Evo Chamber to wall on the natural as well. So let's come across. The Evo Chamber goes down. The Lings pull back. The Queens are going to turn. The Lings pull into the corner again. The Zealots start to trade very well. We need the Roaches to show up. The fact that Roaches will be behind a wall is going to help. I think that's a defense to begin with, honestly. A job very well done. In the first few moments, as now the Zealots and the couple of Oracles come back around to the center here. They have a revelation down. And the Swarm Host production starts from Eba. So Eba on his way to something here, and there's not really anything to deal with Swarm Host on the map currently. Zealots aren't exactly great against them. The Blink Stalkers don't have Blink yet. The Oracles, if they catch them ahead of time, obviously will be nice, but yeah, generally these Swarms are going to have a pretty powerful first wave, especially against a charge-based opening. This is also not like charge.archon, right? If there's Archons in play, I'd be like, okay, cool, well, we can use the Archons to splash the Locust a bit as well, but not an Archon in sight, no Templar Archives. Like I say, this first round of the Swarm Host could be very cool. We'll see where the Nidus goes down to set them up. Looks as though it's going to be over in this corner. And then fly it across into that third base. Like I say, it's just a lot of Blinkless Stalkers, and that's the issue. Because the Stalkers don't have Blink, they can't get out of trouble if the Locusts start to trade with them. They have to just kite backward, which really limits how much they can stand and fight, because kiting back is so much slower than just blinking back. Nidus pops, the Swarm Host will spawn, and we are going to send it onto this third base. Honestly, with Roaches at the same time, I think we could do very well here. Like I say, just because it's pre-blink, his timing has a lot of potential. That third is about to take a beating. I think we just target fire the Nexus as well. Units are going to come across, be force field. That doesn't really make much of an impact because the Locusts obviously are not melee units. And that Nexus will just instantly drop. Roach is trying to come in from the right side. The Immortal is good with a couple of force fields. But I don't think we even need to be fighting here with these Roaches. Pull back, go elsewhere. The army was already there. The Locusts had already done their job. There's no point trying to get the Roaches up in front of Locusts that are dying. Pull those Roaches back. Now we're going to lose all these Roaches. A little bit of a misplay there, I think, from Eba. But obviously great initial punch as he takes down that Nexus. Puts himself in a great spot. Couple Stasis Wards will get Corrosive Biled. Roaches, Hive, and Hydroden all coming up. The Prism on the way as 6 additional Stalkers will be in production as well. Hey, this was nice. The Zealots actually found the Swarm Host apparently, so they have to pop the Locusts defensively on the Zealots. That means they will not get to go aggressively. That is a pretty major plus. As the Stalkers step through, an Overlord will go down. Observer still overhead, just lingering for a few moments. Robo Facility and Robo Bay building out the Nexus. Still coming through, the +3 attack upgrade on the way in. The Lurk Den, Hive, Hydras, Groove Spines continue to build as well. The Swarm Host try and get back in the Nidus, but they get denied! Oh, the Nidus goes down. That's a major loss as multiple Swarm Hosts get caught. Such a shame, because those Swarm Hosts are meant to kind of see through to a later stage of this game. Efficiency-wise, you're meant to be really efficient with Swarm Hosts, and you are not being because so many died. But after such a good start from Eba, Firefly is going to flip the script a little bit with that move right there. I think that already is a pretty huge play. Let's take us back the other direction. Roach Ravager of Eba regathers towards the top. couple of queens are going to join in, the +2 missiles and muscular augments. All these things are going to improve the Hydra setup as time passes by. Our Roach Ravager Hydra continues around to the bottom. Disruptor in production, +3 attack is on the way out as well. And to just turn and apparently kill our own Roach. Big plus is that we've got lurkers coming through, so the success of the Swarm Host initially, while they did then get completely shut down, the initial success has allowed eBay to continue through and get to this point now where we're going to be up into, you know, lurkers. And lurkers are a massive improvement on this army compared to what we were initially seeing, so that could be a major positive. That could be something for us to continue to keep our eyes on as we work through this now. Get back up the left. Roaches move over. So it goes down. Stalkers. Gonna get good force fields down. I see a couple more Roaches dying, man. These are the moments where it's been extremely good for Firefly, where Eva has just kind of given up units unnecessarily. I mean, why are these Ravagers on their own down here as well? I feel like Eva's almost fallen apart. I feel like he's almost trying to do too much as well. Like, I don't know why there's ever 4 Ravagers down here just chilling on their own, right? That really is a big question mark. Disruptor's still building. The Adrenal Gland's on the way. Do you have a Worker upgrade continuing by? +1 melee. Lings, Spinecrawler building up as well as the army continues forward. Stepping onto creep for a few moments. The scan comes through. Stasis Ward just going to get caught. The spines popping away. You see the lurkers get burrowed up. Disruptor shots will land for half a lurker so far. That's about it. 1 Hydra as well. Like I said, I was very happy to see Eva get to the lurkers, but losing so many units has definitely given Firefly this opportunity right now. Blinking up top so you can get the spine crawlers. Obviously in reach of this hatchery as well. 2 more Stalkers warp in. Another Disruptor shot fires. Swarm Hosts are still firing through, trying to do whatever they can. The lurkers move up a little bit, but they're going to eat a massive Disruptor shot on the bottom side. Another transfusion there as we continue to see those Stalkers just blinking. That's going to do it here for game number 1 of this best of 3. There's not really much else to say about that. This one is going to get rounded out just like that. A few more Disruptors trying to set up. The Stalker's still trading. Yeah, I think this one is going to come to a close. On the other side of the map, we do have a little Roach Lurker counterattack. Might do something to distract Firefly, but I mean, if this is a base trade, Firefly is much better set up to base trade. Kind of morph some lurkers in the corner and try and make a final ditched effort. I mean, fair enough. You gotta try what you can. There is only one observer here, and it's quite far back. So if you don't realize those lurkers, maybe they hold position. Maybe they can get an extremely good trade. I think they had to be burrowed already, though, is the problem. They're gonna burrow in the corner. It's not exactly gonna get me excited for these lurkers. Yeah, I mean, now they're just gonna hide in the corner. We can just avoid them. There's not even a need to fight those lurkers, so leave them be, finish off the couple structures on this top side of this base, and we're good. All the probes going across the map. Some lurkers will find some workers, but I mean, Firefly has money for days, so when it comes to rebuilding on this base trade, he will not have an issue. Not an issue at all. The lurkers actually got cleaned out there as well, so yeah, this is looking very bad for Eber, who, man, again, such a good start in the game for him. I felt like just, again, continually after that opening, gifted away units, failed to see further success with the Swarm Host, with Roaches. Again, the good opening gave him the transition to the Lurkers somewhat comfortably, but even then, was just kind of giving up units. The Lurkers never really got a chance to get into good positions. Firefly chose to be the stronger opponent as the game went on. He is going to take game number 1 of our opening best of 3 of the day. Yo, Robert Thari, thank you so much for the 92-month resub. Welcome back. Always good to see your name coming in on the big resub. We appreciate it. As we get ready for more action here in just a few moments, it seems as though everybody is playing StarCraft, guys. I've seen pretty much everyone here, so it looks as though we've got a Full round of 32 under operation. Well, not quite full, but we actually had 25 sign-ins or check-ins today, so 25 players participating. Not a bad Thursday afternoon of StarCraft that we got coming up, to say the least. Alright, gonna head into game number 2. No delay between these guys as we just get straight to it. Countdown starts immediately. And let's get this up and rolling. Thank you so much for joining us early today, guys, if you're watching. And, yeah, you obviously have shown up quickly for this qualifier. There's some cool matches that are going to be coming through eventually, so, yeah, stick with us. We've got some fun ones coming up. Again, I would love to cast, I really think Ryung Awesome, if it happens, round 2 would be very cool. Maybe we could try and catch that. I really want to, if Showtime Gumiho happens, I really want to try and catch Showtime Gumiho as well. That's such an excellent series. It was an absolutely ridiculous series in Home Story Cup. It was a ridiculous series at the eSports World Cup. I really feel like those two give great games a lot of the time. Would love to catch that one. Bottom left, our red Protoss player at 1-0 is Firefly here in this best of 3. Game 2 taking on the British Zerg Eber in the top right corner of the map in the blue. Drones manning. Pool coming up. This is going to be that hatch pool, no gas currently. Something to watch for early as we'll see what Eber does from there. Get ourselves into early stages. Gotta say, no one really needed any admin help today. I looked over about 9 minutes ago to see if anyone needed walkovers and stuff, and the only person that needed a walkover sorted out themselves, so nice to be able to just pay attention to the games. Isn't that lovely? Slow Joe, thank you so much for the 3-year resub. 36 months coming in. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I was going to say, if you guys are enjoying the games and the streams lately, obviously do just continue to, you know, follow the channels, subscribe to the channels. And if you're on the YouTube stream today, don't forget to do your daily scroll down for half a second and click that beautiful little like button. I'm going to do it right now on myself. And I don't even have to scroll. I don't even scroll down. I have to like fully find it on my phone and open the stream. Boom. But just like that. Done. So yeah, give it that like button a little click, guys. You know what they say? A like a day. Make sure the StarCraft doesn't go away. Yeah, I was reading the little book of YouTube last night, and they said that that's a common saying amongst the YouTube communities. Okay, I never heard it in my life, just made it up on the spot, but you know, it could be a thing. As Stargate comes online, and we'll see most likely some Oracle play to open again here from Firefly. My question is, if we see Oracles, do we again play the 2 Oracle into something? It was such a weird open with those Zealots doing nothing at all. You could obviously go 1 Oracle into tech. We could go just more standard 3 Oracle as well. So we definitely get some options. We definitely get some opportunities in the early stages. A couple of Lings. Going to go after the Adepts there. Actually going to shut down that first Adept very comfortably. So that's a really good start on the side of Eber. Able to get that first Adept. And the second Adept going to take some damage as well. Hello, Mr. Splasherman. Is that my nickname now? Ay. You know, it's so funny. But literally in the last week or so, in the last week or so, I've had like 4 different people catch my or find my alt account on RuneScape and be like, "Whoa, you were the StarCraft caster?" And I'm like, this is such a weird thing because it's like I don't play that account all the time, but like it's on a decent amount, and like literally this last week it hasn't happened for like half a year, and then this last week it's happened like 4 times. It's like, that's so weird. Like, you know, these things come in bursts almost. Ay. So like Council Forge building up, a couple of gateways are producing, the Nexus is coming up to completion, an Oracle about to be done on the side of Firefly. 3 more gateways coming up as well as the 2 Oracles get up around the back. The Queens will be there. Turn those Oracles around immediately, so no success found there. The Revelation going down. Oracle still flying forward, and it's going to be met by a few Queens as well. So the Queen's going to turn that Oracle back the other way currently. Oracle is going to activate and go after this hatchery, so the hatchery will take some damage as well, so a few more shots coming about. We really do take some time to work through that. This hatchery taking a lot of damage. Again, melee upgrade, link speed coming through. The Oracles will just sit there, and hatchery will go down. The drone falls with it. 4th base will look to be re-established here as the melee upgrade and the link speed continues to come through. Orbital facility is about to finish in a few moments, as again the Zealots charging the +1 attack, all continuing by. The Ling's just going to get back out into the center. Our 5th base is going to be on the way from Eber as well, so that's going to be 5 bases in total that we head to. The Ling's just heading down to the bottom. We got a little wraparound on the Zealot as well. Oracles activate, a few Zerglings going down there, getting chased the other direction. We're halfway done. Baneling Nest producing here in this game number 2. Look at that, 3 Adepts go down for 5 drones and 9 Lings. And started so well as well from Eva. Obviously the Oracle's able to be a big part of this. Now these Oracle's able to chase those Lings as well for a bunch more kills. All those Lings one-hittable already. And Eva loses even more in these early stages. Firefly just getting some better trades early in this game now. As a few Banelings are going to morph. Hydralisk Den is going to come up as well, so we're going to build that Hydra Den up in the corner as the Zealots are going to continue through. So again, opening with this charge upgrade, and absolutely sending this charge upgrade for the moment as well as we step forward here. Ling's trying to play wrap around, Zealot's taking some damage. Will continue to shoot, and just going to get some more damage done. I mean, that's a cleanup in the end from Eber, but he's already on the worst end of supply. Oracle's still going as well. More drones coming through, the couple of Hydras on the way. Groove Spines is building up as our +2 attack and blink on the way here as well. Zergling's coming around the bottom, gonna head up in toward the natural. That's gonna fire away. Adept is gonna be taken down shortly as the Stalker gets there as well. Chases those Lings back the other direction. This Ling is gonna go nibbling up on that probe, which drops down a cannon and a battery. Oracle activating to get rid of the Zergling. Overlord in the bottom side goes down. The rest of the Lings come across to the far left-hand side, where an Oracle is going to meet them once again. Zerglings once again regather. Move to the front. Stalker Sentry Immortal says nuh-uh. Hydra Bane all continuing through, and we are just going to knock down this Overlord. I mean, I think this has gone well enough so far from Firefly. Eva, what can we do here? Force Field's going to come through. We are going to see a couple of Banes connecting. So many Force Fields available. What if we can knock down the cooling tower? There's a world that we're going to knock the cooling tower down in that Protoss army. We actually do have the Hydras doing pretty good damage. You know, Hydras going unchecked are pretty heavy damage dealers, and that's exactly what's taking place here. Stalker's warping in. The Banes get to roll around the back, though. The Banes almost don't know what to hit because there's not really enough. And Firefly gets completely dismantled. Those Hydras got to do so much. So much of that army from Firefly was just force fields. But then it's all well and good using force fields, but then capitalize on your force fields. But that wasn't able to be done, right? That definitely leads to an issue. There's a bunch more banelings morphing, 18 of them coming up. Lings, +1 missiles coming through. These stalkers are still fighting. A few more lings going down. Bane gonna come back around. Couple more shots coming over. The Banes are still gonna get whacked into. You step back again. Good stasis ward all over the place as those Banes continue to fall. Hydra's continue to surge through in toward the front as we're gonna warp in a chunk of Zealots, but the Bane's gonna knock down those Zealots. Disruptor misses as it fires somewhat haphazardly just to find whatever it can. This time we'll at least get a couple of Hydras. I think Eba's going to run out of momentum on the front lines as the Oracle even coming into play, but it goes down. 2 Oracles in the back, out of energy. Energy overcharge already used. However, like I say, there's just not really enough still going. Bane's busting down a battery. This is so close to being a hold. It's so close to being pushed back. It's pretty intense. I think in the end, defender's advantage is going to make the very close situation a little bit more one-sided in favor of Firefly. As he comes forward, these Lings can take a little blink back as well. +1 missile is about to finish on the Evo chamber. The Stalkers will step forward. Queen in trouble. Hydra Ling will come forward as well. They do just have the Disruptors having to evacuate once more as Firefly tries to come back across the map. He struggles. Disruptor finds a group of Zerglings there as the Hydralisk should be the real target, though. That Hydra damage output is something he can't really contest with. He does get a chunk of them now. Disruptor shot lands. Disruptor shot saving the day a little. Additional Stalkers warping in here from Firefly. I think Hydra will take down some rocks. Baneling's morphing. Baneling, Bane, Hydra all coming through. The +3 attack upgrade on the Forge coming about. My Banes will cancel. Our Stalkers step forward. Another Disruptor shot fires as Disruptors continue to do very well. Thought Disruptor shots don't one-hit anymore. They don't well, they just had their damage reduced. It's not necessarily about one-hitting, but the damage reduction means they don't one-hit Marauders at full HP. I believe Roaches at full HP as well. They still one-hit a lot of very useful things such as Hydras, Ghosts. Good game between these two. It's not done yet as the Sling's trying to get by. That was a very hopeful run back in with the Lings. Why not a Colossus? Yeah, I'm 100% with you, actually. Great suggestion, because you're playing against an army that is very, very susceptible to Colossus or just actual splash damage. The problem is for Firefly, his splash damage has been in the form of Disruptors, which are just less reliable. And against Lingbane Hydra, reliable splash damage does so well. Storms, Archons, Colossus, any of those. We only just now got the Temple Archives up. It might be the case that Firefly, I think, initially really just thought he could win the game. Then he didn't win, and then he got very caught in the moment. And the thing with splash damage like that is it takes a while to get to. Building Temple Archives and Storm and getting High Templars up is a big investment when you're in trouble. Building multiple Colossus does not happen straight away when you're in trouble, right? And so I think that's why he's been kind of holding back onto the non-splash damage forms like that. But I'm with you. I think that would have been the better choice to go. He's going to lose this game in the end. The Hydra Bane is going to be a little bit too powerful. And I think we just do not have a proper splash damage answer to that composition, which usually requests it. GG's. And that is going to be Ipa to take a second game. And we're going to tie up between Ipa and Firefly. Winner plays Max Packs. That's a rough round of 16 opponents. As, meanwhile, we got Showtime first. I mean, a lot of round of 16s now set up already, as the round of 32s obviously don't usually last too long. So Gumiho playing Lemon, Showtime playing Haas. Though I really want to catch the round of 8 between Showtime and Gumiho if that's what comes about. I think that would be great. DNS still playing his matchup. He would play Zound in the next round. Shin versus Nikorak. Classic versus Chance. Beyond versus Rex. Ryung will play the winner of Harstem Silky. I was saying I wanted to catch that, but I think we'd probably prioritize the Showtime Gumiho round of 8. And like I say, we're watching Firefly versus Iba here as we wait for Game 3 to be hosted. So yeah, this turned into a pretty fun series between these guys in the early stages. So, we'll go into Game 3. Deciding map. Iba versus Firefly, who will get to the round of 16. Great to see some competition here in the early stages. Love it. Love it. Hopefully you guys are loving it too. Thank you for joining us early on in the day, as we are just waiting for this next map to get hosted up. There we go, they just hosted. So should be able to join them in a second. Whispers of Gold going to be the deciding map. I feel like Whispers of Gold is this kind of smaller, more compact, and pretty aggressive map actually, so I do think that this could be more along the lines of let's have a big old fight and a scrap, which is kind of what these guys have been doing anyways. That gets me pretty excited for this series coming in. I think this could be a very, very entertaining one, so let's see what will happen as we go into game number 3. Deciding map here on Whispers of Gold. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we have ourselves the red Protoss player. This is Firefly. And yeah, I think he was just too afraid to really tech into the splash damage that would have really done him a lot of justice, just because of how he opened. Again, does very well initially, but has an army cleaned up, and from there is kind of like, oh crap, I need to survive right now. So you go Disruptors, because they're quick to build, they have an instant effect. And he just never found the moment to get out from there in that game number 2. Bottom right-hand side, Eber, and British Zerg in the bottom right corner as we get that up and running. Good morning from NA. Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful morning for some StarCraft 2 qualifier action. As we work our way through just past the halfway mark of the week. Again, after today, guys, I'll be off tomorrow. Been taking Fridays off lately. But then we'll be back on Saturday with the Limo League replays in the evening. And then Sunday, we will have Group A of the WardiTV November event. I cannot tell you who's going to be in that because I've not done the invites yet. I'll be doing the invites once today's qualifier has wrapped up. So those invites will go out then, and we'll get Group A set up. I think based on the quality of players playing in the qualifier, we're going to have a pretty darn good time when it comes to the rest of the competition. So I think that's going to be very enjoyable to settle down into game number 3 of this best of 3. Cybercorn, and the Nexus. Or pylon from Firefly though, so that's something which is going to be a little bit off from the expectation here. And aggressively plays Stargate. He's already seen success with early game harassment. Obviously wants to up the ante on that a little further apparently, so going to try and make this happen with the forward Stargate, get the Oracle into the mineral line a little bit sooner, look to deal some more damage there in those early stages. See what we can do from that as the hatchery will go down in the 3rd location, so just going to get that in place straight away. Probe gets back to the center. A couple of depths continue through. I have the adept coming about. Two adepts together, gonna head into the natural. Ling's gonna be there, just gonna see the couple of depths firing away. Little shade up into the main base. No, sorry, they shade out. The Oracle's in the main base. Oh my goodness, this Oracle has 6 kills. What a time for this Oracle to be alive. Now, these guys have been hosting without the Game Heart mod, guys. The worker kill tab is off. But yeah, we actually got ourselves 6 drones, 3 lings for 1 adept. We always love that. Once again, Eba taking some early game damage is going to make it more of a struggle for him. Again, the speed of that first Oracle showing up might have just been what caught him a little bit off guard as well, right? Could have made the difference there, potentially. May have been the deal breaker. Is the work account lost gone because it's PRTR? No, so worker lost. The work account thing is just a mod. It's called WCS Game Hard. It's a mod. It gives you a lot of extra kind of observing features. The game just has to be hosted with the mod enabled, and sometimes players, even in 2024 when this mod has been a thing for about 8 years, sometimes the players still don't host it with it, which I find baffling, by the way, because as a player, if you want to watch your replay, this mod makes watching your own replay so much easier as well. It provides you so much more information to analyze what happened in your game. So, while you can't get it on ladder games, like, you should absolutely be hosting your customs with it. There's no reason not to. But, yeah, some people still don't host it with the mod, and, yeah, honestly, it baffles me. Like, I appreciate that, obviously, I'm from a point of view where, like, this mod is always useful, but I just don't see why you wouldn't want it on, because, like, what if you've had a great game, you want to go back and watch it, like, you make your own kind of experience learning from your replay even easier. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just a mod the players haven't hosted with it. We'll have it on for the rest of the day, most likely. It's just, yeah. We just jumped into this series, and we just let them continue hosting, and honestly, I keep forgetting to tell them to turn it on. As simple as that. Alright, Ling's gonna get a little wrap around. The gateway taking damage. Queens are indeed walking, as we have got Eba arriving to the top side of the map, so here we go. Ling Queen gonna start working through the Nexus. Oracles will activate to play defense here. One battery is online. Oracle gets an energy overcharge, which means that it's gonna have even more energy to work with as the Queens go onto the battery. Queens do not have any creep to transfuse each other with, though, which is going to be an issue. And those Queens starting to go down is a problem when you consider the fact that these Oracles are still very healthy. Kind of want those Queens to be able to deal with those. The battery has gone down, though. 2 new batteries on the way, but not ready yet. As the Lings look for a wraparound, I just don't see it. This is not a good enough wraparound. The units are well choked up. Eba is just going to have to type GG. This attack off the back of taking a bunch of damage has really not worked at all. And that is going to be Firefly getting the advance into the round of 16 to play against MaxPack. So that will happen. And that is going to be Firefly taking the win. Like I say, he'll play MaxPack in the next round. Our full round of 16 is set up, by the way, apart from Ryung waiting for Harstem to finish playing with Silky. That's honestly probably a pretty good matchup. If I'd seen Silky online, I think we maybe would have prioritized trying to get into that at first. Looks as though they are about 5 minutes in game. So that matchup is still happening. That's the only round of 16 match that we have remaining to be played. In terms of what we want to do, guys, I would love to catch either Gumiho Lemon or Shameless. Sorry, not Shameless. Sorry, Showtime versus Hast. Hast beat Shameless in the previous round. I'd love to catch one of those 2 matches midway through, just so we can go and dive into the... I really want to catch the round of 8 of potentially Showtime Gumiho. I like that matchup. Like, don't be wrong, there's a lot of good matchups that are going to happen in round of 8 today. I mean, you're talking about, if you're just picking favorites, Yun Classic, Shinzown, MaxPack Harstem, or MaxPack Ryung or so, like, there's a lot of good round of 8 matches that will happen, but Showtime Gumiho has just been such an excellent series when it's happened lately. I really, really want to make sure we get into that. Showtime has to be a banger. Yeah, they're just already playing, unfortunately. They were starting their series while we were going into game 3 or so. Actually, Indy has the Harstem game if you guys are looking for that that action. Harstem and Silky are currently 1-1 against each other, so it's 1-1 tied up in that best of 3. So they are in a 3rd game. Like I say, we'll keep an eye on either Gumiho Lemon going into another game or Showtime versus Haas. In fact, Showtime just came out of game, so we might have some information or something we can go into there. What's it going to be? Showtime a result? Or is it going to be another game? I'm watching eagerly. I'll ask for the invite. As he loads up. See if we get an invite in time. I think they, I don't think they saw the message before the game loaded, unfortunately. It looks like Showtime and Haas just went back into game, so They just went back in the game. We missed that. That's the real downside of the PTR, by the way, is that I'm not friends with everybody. So if I'd seen Showtime going in game on another server, I could have just clicked the join button off the friends list. That doesn't really happen now. Do 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 do. No, I mistyped. See if we can get into Gumiho Lemon, maybe? Nope, I think I'm too late there as well. I think I was just a bit slow. Ah, that's unlucky. Now I'm in my classic scenario of, do we try and wait for someone, or... But that's unlucky. Both those series just went to another game and I couldn't catch them in time. Alright, well, now I don't know what to do, because we're going to be having to take a couple of moments at the very least for another match to finish. I can already tell we're going to miss Showtime Gumiho if I go into something else, though. That's very unlucky not to get into the games there. I went to ask Gumiho for the invite, and I misclicked on someone else, and before I could get back out, they went in game. Yeah, like you say, very frustrating when we're on the PTR, simply for the fact that on the PTR I'm not friends with everyone, so it's much harder to get into lobbies. You're relying on their invite rather than being able to, like, just click join off the friends list, so a little frustrating. But such is the way of things. So yeah, I would have loved to have gone into one of those games for you guys, but just not meant to be, apparently. Yeah, we'll wait and see what comes available. I mean, right now, nothing really is happening. No starting up, so we'll take a few moments. Much on the Halston versus Silky match. It does look pretty good for Halston right now, but Silky is a pretty dangerous opponent. Can definitely make some crazy situations come about, so wouldn't guarantee that this is Halston's game, but it is looking good for him. As this lurk is up, so it's not going to be super easy for him to capitalize. Halston's up about 15-20 supply, 10 minutes into Amygdala. Against Silky in their Game 3 Decider map. It's close though, honestly, so that one's happening on Indie's Twitch stream. Polish, if you guys want to try and find it, if you are desperate for something to watch while we try and figure out what we're going to go into for a few moments. Guess we'll just take it a couple of moments. You're watching the Cast of Civil War finals? I really want to rewatch that myself. I really think that'd be really fun to rewatch on stream together sometime. But yeah, I actually do think that'd be really fun. Alright guys, we are bracket watching. Like I say, Halston. Silky taking a little while on their matchup. I will just show you guys the bracket in full here, just because we do have a couple of moments we're waiting on games. So just to show you guys exactly where we're currently at. MaxPax versus Firefly. Ryung is waiting for Halston and Silky, who are still in game in that game 3. Bjorn did defeat Rex, so he goes into the round of 8 already. Classic is going to be playing Chance. The winner of that plays Bjorn. Shin versus Nicorakt is on the way as well. That CVT's been on the go for a while. Zound DNS playing. I feel like that actually happened last week as well. Zound DNS. I feel like I have a memory of that taking place. Showtime versus Haas. And Gumiho versus Lemon. Like I say, I tried to get into both of these series, and they just were both a little bit too quick for us. And we could not join them, unfortunately. So We're waiting kind of... I really do like the bottom quarterfinal there. Again, most likely Showtime versus Gumiho. Otherwise, I do like the idea of the Ryung series in the round of 16. Gun Classic would be a banger in the round of 8 as well. I mean, we can't really go wrong with what we watch. I don't know if my heart's almost too set on watching Showtime versus Gumiho. It might not even be Showtime versus Gumiho. That's not even a guarantee. You know, it might not even be those guys when when their results come in. So, I'm even getting a little bit too ahead of myself there. Too many Zergs? Oh yes, all one Zerg in the bracket. Who's in the bracket as a Zerg right now? I guess Silky still in the first round, still playing. Rex knocked out a Zerg, and our other Zerg Jin. Our weekly Zerg representative in tournaments. Silky Hearthstone, by the way, because I gave you an update on it previously, is now kind of maxed out for Silky. 180 supply Hearthstone. They're playing a long game. It's Lurkers versus a Mothership. That is a game that is just going to keep on going on. So, definitely one to watch if you're looking to fill a few moments instead of just listening on to me. I'm just going to fire it up. Motherships. Fighting back a little bit as well. Yeah, that's on Indie stream, like I say, if you want to watch it, guys. No Clem today. Nope, Clem not playing in the qualifiers. We'll show him. We'll just not invite Clem to the tournament if he doesn't want to play in the qualifiers. This guy, huh? You know, think he's too good for our qualifiers? Well, he can't play. No, we will probably just invite Clem to the main event, guys. Believe it or not. Having Clem in our tournament is beneficial. It's funny, every time I upload like a Clem video on YouTube, it's just like, hey, Wardy, your viewership is incredible. And when I don't upload a Clem video, it's like, hey, Wardy, your viewership's okay, but it's not that many. You know, it's not that great. It's all right, you know. So yeah, I think we'll probably just be inviting Clem. Probably just be inviting Clem. Okay, you guys. This I mentioned a little bit on the stream. Talked about it a little bit, but we tried out uploading some YouTube shorts. The first short I uploaded was that clip of like Hearthstone being like, man, Clem's pickup micro hasn't been that good today, and then Clem proceeds to have like the most insane pickup micro against Max Packs and chases down and kills all the Stalkers, loses like a Marine against 5 Stalkers or something. It's just like, okay, you know, that was funny. This YouTube short is now at 108,000 views. This is absolutely bonkers. It's got like almost 4,000 likes. This was absolutely crazy. Clip was so funny. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. I think it was like the perfect clip to... It's almost too good of a clip to start with, because like... Yeah, it is absolutely just really good. Like, it's not just amazing gameplay, it's also Hearthstone being an absolute idiot and just getting like called out immediately for saying something. Yeah. So, yeah, I can't believe that's at 108,000 views. If we had 108,000 views on a normal YouTube video in this day and age, we would be popping the heck off. I don't think when the last time we had like a long form video, like a proper YouTube upload, go to 100k views does not happen a lot. I'm interested though, so now I'm going to go and find out. Our highest viewed video is 140k views. Cell versus Innovation. So actually, in terms of just like actual videos, this short is like our 4th most viewed thing on YouTube of all time. What was the highest viewed video in the last year on YouTube? I actually wonder. 1 year ago, Cell vs Max Packs Grand Finals. WardiTV Christmas Day Games. 2022. That's like 2 years ago. It has 50,000 views. I don't think, yeah, it's so funny, like, scrolling down the YouTube, it's like a lot of videos 3 or 4 years ago did amazingly, and it's like trying to find any in the last year that did anywhere near as well. It just doesn't happen, it just doesn't exist. Yo, Showtime gonna drop us a lobby link as we... jump into game number 3. So we'll jump into game 3 of Showtime versus Haas. It's 1-1 tied up at the moment. It's so funny looking at my YouTube videos and like looking at all the different styles of thumbnails I used over the years as well. Just throw myself into the past a little bit. It's so funny. Alright. Let's go and jump into game, guys. Let's go into this game of Showtime versus Haas. It's 1-1 in this PvP. So it's all tied up. Is in the top right-hand side of the map, we are going to have ourselves the red Protoss player. This is Showtime. And taking on him in the bottom left, who's gotten the scoreline to 1-1. Someone I've not seen in a hot second is Haas. Thank you for a little bit of patience. Like I said, unfortunately didn't get the invite to game 2 of this, but it wasn't super long. And this one may not be as well as Haas. He's going to just straight up go for the proxies. You know what? It would not be Haas if he was not proxying. And he is going to proxy the gateways. And he is going to get this aggression going in the PvP. These are, this is the PTR where the Stalkers build 3 seconds more quickly. Let's see if that has an impact. 2 gates and the Forge. And Showtime sees the probe. Does he see? Oh no, he misses it. He's off to the left. He does not come forward to see the scout. Okay, well that's a little bit of information then he will have to pick up just as he goes now. There you go, pylons coming up. We're actually going to wall this in. This is so awkward because now you're walled in. You could cancel your gateway to get access into this corner, but then you lose a gateway, right? Is that a good thing? Probably not. Showtime pulls a lot of his probes off the mining because he wanted to start a Zealot. As we are going to say, I mean, I think these pylons will fall. He starts a Zealot, cancels. I think he's just so close to the side port, he'll just wait for it to finish. Oh, he gets the second pylon! Oh, the re-wall. Haas gets the second pylon down as the first one falls, and the cannon is looking as though it's going to go up. What a play from Haas. Getting the second pylon down. These few probes will finish this pylon just because it's going to go down. And, oh, we're just not going to finish it. Actually, we're going to run away. We prioritize the probe's lives over the kill. The probe will free itself by killing the pylon and put another cannon down. And we start to work our way through this pylon at the front. Zealots will be given access to this base. Pylon number 2 is in trouble as we are going to try and chrono boost units out here. We are going to get rid of the probe, and that stops some of the building that can happen from here on out. But Showtime has lost power to both of his gateways. That is generally not a good sign. He has 1 adept currently. There's going to be another pylon coming up soon. The battery is going to get target fired down by the Zealots. We are going to have a full surround on the Zealots. The Showtime trying to get to a robo facility. Playing this game with 1 adept currently. 1 adept only. I wonder if it would have been worth going into a Zealot then. Just I mean, I'm not sure how much a Zealot helps you out overall, but maybe you would have gotten rid of a pylon a bit sooner. Well, Robo is coming up. Showtime's not dead. As long as the Robo gets up, he will have some options. Problem is, he's going to have 3 Zealots already in the main base. This battery about to finish. The Adept can do well against the Zealots, and Haas is pretty committed to this. He is only building Zealots still. He's not on a cyber core. He's not getting other tech up. The issue here clearly is the fact that this probe is coming forwards, and that pylon and the front going to go down. That depowers the battery again. So the battery will fall. The probes are just going to have to pull away. Showtime has to micro his butt off right now as the Immortal is on the way out. An Immortal huge in this game. It surely rallies it backwards as well. Do not leave it to rally forwards, I don't think. That's going to be nasty. You don't want it to be out in the open against the Zealots, right? As it does spawn. The Nexus is under fire, so we are on a timer here as the Immortal will come through and start to fight some cannons. Going to try and sit as far out of reach as possible, but the cannons do reach. The Immortal does lose its shields and a little bit further. The battery doesn't have much energy. Energy overcharge will be available when the Nexus gets back up to energy again. But we need that energy to come through. Now we can put energy overcharge down, maybe get the Immortal some shields back. I think we need to get this Immortal some shields back, right? I think we need to drop the energy overcharge, but obviously there's a lot going on here. We are going to still have that available, but apparently it's going to be good enough as Showtime actually does have the hold. Haas is going to tap out. I was so convinced that the Immortal needed an energy overcharge, but it doesn't matter because Haas just runs out of steam, and Showtime is going to hold against the cheese. 2-gate Forge, and Showtime gets the defense. Damn. How about that, son? That was a game. That was definitely a game. That looked like it had so much potential. That looked like it had so much potential. What defense from Showtime in the end. Ay, ay, ay. All right, we'll take a moment then and figure out what is next. I mean, I think we want to just wait for Gumiho and Lemon to finish and see what their score is. As other matches have finished, Beyond and Classic are going to be playing against each other. They have already begun, so Beyond and Classic are in-game on the round of 8. Shin is waiting for Zaun and DNS, and then Harstem did beat Silky, so Harstem moves through to play Ryung. So Harstem, Ryung, MaxBax, Firefly, that is the very top section, still playing through the round of 16. So yeah, I think we wait for Gumiho Lemon to come out of game. They've been in game for about 10 to 15 minutes right now, so unless they start playing an extremely long game, we should be able to just sit back and kind of wait for them to finish up. So yeah, we'll take a few moments and we'll get into more StarCraft. I think we'll just wait for the Gumiho Lemon game to finish and take whoever wins that against Showtime. Could be a cool way to do this. Alright, we'll take a few moments. Like I say, wait for a couple players to pop out of game, working our way through this qualifier. 1 hour deep, some round of 8 matches starting to set up. I think we'll do both the semifinals today, guys. We didn't do both yesterday. Yesterday's qualifier took a little bit longer to kind of get there, and I kind of regret the way it went because it took a little longer to get there, but then it actually finished very quickly. I think today we'll cast both the semis. Request the players to hold out for us a little bit. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the quarterfinals. Like I say, definitely wanting that Gumiho game to come around and be available. I think if Gumiho 11 come out, we'll go there. Otherwise, we can wait for Zaun and DNS to finish. The winner of that plays Shin. Also a cool series. Am I crazy for wanting to see Showtime Gumiho so much? Are you guys with me on this, by the way? Just watch a TVP and Ryung versus Harstem. They already started, mate. They've already been in game for about 4 minutes, so they started while we're in that PvP already, so they are already underway and beginning. You can watch that if you want to on Indie Stream. Like I said, that is Polish coverage, but twitch.tv/IndieStarCraft. Or Harstem is live on Twitch and YouTube, I believe. Playing his own point of view. If you want to watch that as well. So you have options if you want to see those games, but yeah, we'll... I honestly, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to do a first round match, then Ryung versus Harstem, and then maybe like the Showtime round of 8. It just didn't work out like that today. You know, the timing just did not work out like that in the end. So unfortunately, we are not going to have that really be a factor. Unfortunately. MaxBax 2-0 Firefly, by the way, that was a fast series. They obviously played that out while we were just kind of waiting for the match. So MaxBax waits no time in dispatching a Firefly. He moves into the round of 8. He will play Ryung or Harstem. In the round of 8, that will be a qualifying match when he gets an opponent. But like I say, Ryung Harstem only just started, so they are a little ways off just for now. If you guys got any fun questions, great time to ask. We have a little bit of downtime here, so got some questions. Feel free to ask away. We'd be very happy to answer them. Very happy to entertain you guys and inform you and whatever else I can do while we are sat waiting for another map to finish up that we're not involved in right now. Alright, so we sit back and chill. Do I like alpacas? Sure, why not? What's that I hate about an alpaca? Hey, Gumiho's out of game, guys, so we should have a result there. What's it gonna be? Drum roll, please. Gumiho Lemon. Waiting for a bracket update. They're both online still. No one's rage quit out of StarCraft 2. Guess I'll just ask. I will just ask because nothing's being done. No one's reporting a score. It is finished. Still no one has reported a score. Lemon said, I asked, is it finished? They said yes. And tell me the result. The result, maybe? I will ask for the result. I think Lemon might have beat Gumiho, guys. I've got a feeling. Drumroll. Eventually we will find out what's going on. I reckon it's ESL or Blizzard causing the current delays to the new season. I have no idea. I think there's a reason that it was not set in place ahead of time. It really depended a lot on what happened at the eSports World Cup, and I think StarCraft 2 did very well. Okay, Gumiho won 2-1 against Lemon. Perfect. We are going to get Gumiho showtime. So I think StarCraft 2 did very well at eSports World Cup, and other RTS games were not as good as eSports World Cup were expecting them to be, and so I think eSports World Cup have decided to continue doing StarCraft, but stuff was not in place because of the other things and the things that we were waiting on. Who's delaying it now? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I know the Chinese commentators came out and said it was Blizzard causing delays for this season, but sometimes that stuff gets lost in translation. I would not take that as a genuine reason or actually what is happening. But obviously something's happening, but we just don't know. Did we get an EWC update? No. We did not. Basically, the World Team League organizers came out and said something along the lines, we have to cancel WTL. It's very difficult to organize, and they basically said that Blizzard is holding up the process of ESL running tournaments this year, but like I say, sometimes that stuff gets lost in translation. I don't know why they would know, but then nobody else got told anything. Sorry, I was just looking for something. Yeah, I don't know why they would know, and literally nobody else knows anything, so I don't know why they would have been told that. Like, usually if people like that find out, there's other people that I know that also find out at least something, or we get given like a, hey, look, it's happening, but we haven't been told anything, so yeah. I would just sit back and wait still. I think, honestly, still no news is kind of good news. I know it's frustrating. I know it's not exactly ideal. I know we want news, and I know, yeah, I think just continue to watch and enjoy expecting the circuit this year. It's just taking a little while, that's all. It's just taking a little while. We are going to go Showtime Gumiho, guys. That's the TVP I've been on about all day. You guys are like, Wardy, you've been asking for this series all day. If it ain't very good, this is on you. I know, guys, okay? If it ain't very good, this is my fault. I feel it, okay? We'll see what happens. We are going to go into Ley Lines for the first map. Someone else just dropped a lobby link for Whispers of Gold. And, Austin already going to a game 2, apparently. As we will go into this Gumiho versus Showtime best of 3. You just hope the next World Championship is held in Atlanta or something where you have a StarCraft crowd. That is never going to happen. Any World Championship we have from here on out, for the foreseeable future, is going to be the eSports World Cup. That's just the place StarCraft is in right now. There's no way it's going to be an alternative to that. In the bottom left, our Red Protoss player is going to be Showtime. As in the top right, we have our blue Terran player, Gumiho. And I've been looking forward to this series since I saw the bracket in the round of 32 and saw that this could be a possibility. I'm so glad Showtime held off against Hass's Cheese. Gumiho saw off Lemon in the round of 32 and round of 16. because I think this is such a fun matchup. When these two play, fireworks happen. That Home Story Cup Grand Final earlier this year was absolutely spectacular. And then, you know, you look back to that eSports World Cup series, that was a ridiculous best of 3. That first game that came down to a couple of units firing away. Showtime just couldn't kill the final units off. That was very reminiscent of the game they played in the Home Story Cup as well, where Gumiho turned it around. Man, what a fantastic set of games that these two have played over the course of the last year. It's not always, you know, fireworks and awesome micro and all the rest and it's like super epic, but like a lot of the time it is. That's why I really wanted to see this one today. This is a qualifying best of 3, guys, although I'll let you guys know a little spoiler. It's very likely that the loser of this probably gets an invite. As always, we do appreciate players taking the time to come out and play in the qualifiers, and Gumiho and Showtime played in yesterday's qualifier as well. You play in 2 of our qualifiers, even if you don't qualify, you've got a very good chance of getting an invite unless literally too many players of your race qualified. We want to, you know, thank the players for coming out, because the qualifier is an important part of the process for us as well. You know, the qualifiers give us an extra day or 2 of streams. It gives us a day or 2 to build up the tournament. It gives a lot of players a chance to show their interest. So we appreciate when the players come out and play the qualifiers. We oftentimes reward those with invites. And the players know that as well. I had a couple people message me, be like, hey, Wardy, I just literally cannot play the qualifiers. The times are not good for me, but I would love to play. And I'm like, it's okay. I see. I understand. I get it. So the players know that as well. So, yeah. Here we are now in this round of 8 matchup. Gumiho versus Showtime. As Reaper moves about, Twilight Council coming through. Command Center Starport all on the way in as Gumiho gets operational here. The Tech Lab will build. And we have ourselves, again, the Reaper moving over toward the Natural for a couple of moments. The Hallucination will pop out. The Adept takes a step. Chasing, catching. Reaper taking damage. Couple of shots already. Reaper going to go low. So the Twilight Council comes up here as well. So we get that underway. This Adept is going to turn back the other direction. The Hallucination scouting from Showtime across the map. He will see the CC. He will see the 111 establishment. And so Showtime gets perfect information to play with. As we actually see a Cyclone coming out of the Tech Lab factory. So a Cyclone on this reverted version of the Cyclone is not super good typically in the pushes. But maybe he thinks there's some potential for him to have one here. He's going to start setting that out onto the map. It's zippy, this Cyclone, as well, isn't it? It moves. Look at it go. Zooming across down to the bottom left for a few moments. Can we invite Haas? He will definitely be on the list. The only issue is the Protoss list is usually very big. Unfortunately for Protoss players, we have the largest pool of Protoss to pick from. So, you know, they are the highest played race, and so invites to Protoss players are a little bit harder to come by, unfortunately. But he'll be on the list. We'll see. As a grenade goes down, we are going to be seeing the few Marines dropping off as well. That's going to allow you to intercept the Stalker and the Sentry. The Cyclone being chased has turned into a complete trap here for Showtime. Oh no, he does not get the reach on the Cyclone either. So that's another Stalker going down. It's all gone wrong. The medevac loads up. We move into the main base with the few Marines. And we're going to see a couple of probes beginning to go down here as the Stalkers will get there to fight the medevac as well. Blink is about to finish. A few more probes going down. We will blink for the medevac, but this has been a disaster of a defense for Showtime, who doesn't kill the medevac either. Everything has gone wrong for him here. This really couldn't be going much worse, honestly. This really has been very, very bad for Showtime, who, okay, at the very least here, this one Stalker will find that medevac, so that will go down. But man, 5 probes, bunch of lost mining time. A ton of units going down as well, like I say. I mean, we lost the Sentry, 2 Stalkers, and the Adept. Definitely a good, strong start from Gumiho here in these early stages. He'll be happy with this opening. And we'll see what the next step for him will be as he sets up an engineering bay in the front. The few Stalkers obviously going to come across. We do have Blink to try and harass with. Showtime will set up the 3rd base up the left-hand side of the map during this. So that's one thing we'll keep an eye on. Against Impact coming through, the Hallucination checking about, going to get pushed away in toward the main base as well. Another depot goes down. Plus one attack coming up. Again, Siege Tanks building. The charges on the way in from Showtime as well. A couple probes. And the Nexus all continuing through. Yeah, Gumiho has this one Raven sat over here doing a barrel roll. It's just chilling. That will be an opportunity for him to maybe deal some harassing damage at some point still, so that's definitely a possibility. Focus will chill against impact, +1, combat shield. All on the way out as our few Marines are going to turn, nibble at a set of rocks. Still seeing the Dark Shrine building up in that main base. As we do have our gateway coming up. The Nexus building through. Probes are still in production. More Stalkers on the way out as well as that pylon finishes up. The Nexus still sitting on the 12 o'clock. So we have a forward Nexus from Showtime. That is a question. I said that almost too nonchalantly because that's kind of a very interesting deal. Why are we building a 12 o'clock Nexus in this game? Very interesting, not really a Showtime kind of move, as we are going to blink up here, go after a tech lab. I mean, a Marauder spawns, a couple of Marines spawn, those are nice picks. Maybe could add the Medivacs, got to be careful where we blink to right now. We're going to blink to the corner and recall. That's not a bad choice, because we saw that there was other units coming in on the low ground, so that's a very smart choice. This is a couple of DTs warping in, as that sentry is going to die. The DTs are just going to have to run for it, they're going to hide. I mean, Gumiho might not see that base. If you come through the bottom side of this, yeah, he does not actually get the vision on the base. At the same time, the DTs are going to start making their way past and through, so they are going to start being a little bit annoying in a few moments. And Showtime's going to show back up over here. There are the DTs. There is actually a missile turret, so DTs already going to have a little bit of trouble. Third base trying to build on location gets completely denied, and Showtime just going to attack at the front. I mean, this is incredible. Gateway's coming up here, so as we enter base trade, Showtime is already establishing a position to base trade to. This is hilarious. Gumiho's going to arrive. He's going to start moving into the main. I mean, Showtime has some gates in the main base still on the way up. Knocks down a Widow Mine there, continues to kite back as the SCVs pull in. DT's morphed into the Archon. That will absorb a lot of damage before it goes down, if nothing else. The Stalkers continue to do very well. Now Showtime pulls the probes. He has a base here to... like, was he just expecting the base trade from the start? What was the idea of this Nexus? I'm going to have to ask him if he wins the game, because I'm absolutely fascinated in what the concept behind this Nexus was. He is heavily down on army supplies, the problem for Showtime currently. As the units in the main base are going to be difficult to get through, the Stalkers are going to try and shoot through the depots. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Showtime just struggles in terms of army. He's going to build another Dark Shrine. There is a world where, obviously, I mean, you got to get rid of the other orbital, though, for this to really matter. He's going to blink forwards here. I think Showtime knows he needs to try and make a play onto these units. Because I think I think Showtime knows for a fact that he has to get up here and he has to get into the main and shut down that orbital. Because I think he's basically going for the DTs as his opportunity to kind of win this game. I don't think he has an opportunity otherwise. So I think Showtime knows what he needs right now. He's going to blink forward, get the Medivac. He'll try and get some of these Marauders down quickly. The Zealots are working on the SCVs. He's going to lose a lot. There's a few units in the corner from Gumiho as well. Missile turret burning. He just doesn't have enough, does he? Showtime is not going to succeed with this. Nexus on the top of the map, and Gumiho will take game number 1. If Showtime could have just gone into the main, get rid of that orbital, DTs obviously carry you through, right? But obviously DTs are not able to do enough there, and that is going to be a game 2 coming up in a couple of moments as Gumiho takes the 1-0 lead here in the quarterfinals. Amygdala going to be our second map. Get this started up in a moment. As everybody joins us, we get this ready to roll. DNS beat Zaun. Wow, Zaun, man. I really want to have Zaun in our event as well, but like, he just keeps falling. Like, Zaun has these moments of greatness. I think he's struggling in PvP. I don't want to get Zaun involved. He's been a fun player to watch. He's had some really upsetting results. Upsetting some players so far. I think it'd be really great to get Zaun in, but he loses to DNS. There'll be Shin DNS in a qualifying match in that round of 8. Good to see DNS doing well, though. I always love casting a bit of DNS. Very nice guy. Was always a mainstay in WardiTV tournaments as well, because DNS was one of those players who would just play in pretty much absolutely everything. In the bottom left, though, of this series, game number 2, down a map currently. Our red Protoss player here is Showtime. And at the top right, our blue Terran, we have Gumiho. Well, it wasn't a super long, drawn-out, crazy game. But it was a crazy game. Gumiho comes out on top of. I really want to ask Showtime about this Nexus. Marks coming through, gateway coming up. We do see the probe around the right-hand side. Gonna go for a little bit of a journey. As a real nibble, we go back and forth a little bit as we get settled down. Probe comes through, command center starts up. Gonna be seeing the factory coming in as we get ourselves again established for a few moments. Probe moves, Nexus coming up. Gonna be seeing our warp gate. And building on the side of Showtime, taking a couple moments. Touring sounds very impressive. Yeah, I think so too. Especially because Zaun, like I say, has definitely had moments since his return of being so freaking good. Like, he has been so good. The Adept comes across. The Reaper is going to get chased. Taking a couple of shots. Gateway building, a couple of probes in production. We wait for this Reaper to have another chance. A couple of Hellions, and we're going to go into another barracks behind this, so a little bit biocentric. Not going to have a starport to harass with this time early game. I mean, that last game was very bad for Showtime early on. From the very start of that last game, we already saw some moments which were obviously very concerning, pretty rough in general. There's the Reaper and the 2 Hellions coming over right now. Our Stimpack and our Marine and our Orbital building up as well. A couple of additional gates coming through from Showtime as well. Going to take us to 3 in total. As that warp gate will be finishing, Robo Facility will start up. Adept is going to fire there. The Stalker as well will shoot. We are going to go straight into the probes. 3 workers go down again, and that's going to be, honestly, a good start just for units running through. The only good thing I'd say for Showtime is at least he doesn't run around stupid after it for a long time. Like, this was just 4 probes go down. The rest of the probes keep mining, and that is that. The Adept and the Stalker obviously healthy after this as well. Gets a couple more unit warp ins. Well, I guess we're going to energy overcharge the Sentry. Yep, pops that straight away, so the Sentry gets the energy to hallucinate. One of the cool things about that overcharge is you don't have to build the Sentry super early on, so it doesn't interrupt a lot of your other gas timings. You can just build it a bit later, energy overcharge, and have an instant hallucination. As the hallucination does move straight into the main right now, as we have a 3rd barracks on the way. The starport has got a Liberator building. I mean, Showtime gets a pretty good scout. Seeing the starport building a single unit without a reactor just yet. I mean, pretty good assumption you can be a Liberator. He also sees it still building without anything popping out. So the longer that goes on for, the more likely it's a Liberator with a longer build time than the Medevac. It takes such a long time to build a Lib. 43 seconds is an absolute eternity in StarCraft 2. How long it takes to build those units sometimes. That kind of, I was just like, how long does a Liberator take to build? I'm like, oh man, 43 seconds, that's sizable. And compared to a Medevac of 30 seconds, that is, again, a pretty sizable difference. As Showtime has the units here to, well, I mean, he has Blink Harassment, but he also has an Adept and a Sentry. Going to hallucinate into the main for some info. The units are toward the ramp. Showtime will see that. Does he want to go in and maybe snag himself like a reactor that's building or so? I think so. I think there's almost no reason not to do that. You get the reactor, you step back. Oh, Stim's done. That's probably the reason why not to do it. Blink can't come back soon enough here. Showtime can micro with the Prism. Pretty good getaway. He loses the 1 low HP Stalker that went to the low ground there. That doesn't get out of reach. 2 more Stalkers warp in. And the Nexus building on the 3rd base as we do have the Liberator on the other side. Going to force the Stalker warp in as well. Showtime going to keep on harassing. Going to be able to find the bunker with nothing inside. I love the aggressive step forward in the force field. And all of a sudden, these units are trapped in the main base. How many SCVs can we get during this? Probably not too many. Yeah, kind of a shame we don't have a second force field because that was the perfect position there for Showtime. We do kill 6 workers. A lot of them come pulling out the front. Meanwhile, this Liberator is still being an issue. Additional Stalkers come to the reinforcement, but they take a little while. That Liberator pulls away up the left just a little too late. The Prism around the top. Again, +1 attack and combat shield coming in. Another depot goes down. The rest of the bio still gathering together. Charge and the Immortal coming through too. As the Prism of Showtime still around the top. Just going to unload. Adept and Stalkers will come in and just harass. I mean, we have ourselves a couple of Marauders here. Bulky units. Very good in this scenario. Obviously, bonus damage to the Stalkers is nice, but just the fact they have a lot of HP helps you a lot in a moment like that where you're taking a lot of shots, and if the Marauders can absorb those shots, it's damage that is not going into the mineral line as quickly as it could have done otherwise. Big bio shove to the bottom side as Gumiho settles in to try and run to this 3rd base. Force fields cut the army in half. First sentry goes down. Stalker's blinking back nicely so far. Got to keep that micro up. The Immortal about to arrive a little late to the party. Medevac out of energy. The Immortal will at least now start chunking through the Marauders, and this army is going to get chased home. You're going to see... The danger, of course, is if you blink in, the units can stim and do a very good job of fighting. We're actually going to maybe have to fight here because the Immortal gets caught by the concussive shells. Showtime on the attempted chase gets punished. Those reinforcing Medevac showing up and making a difference for Gumiho. Regather here. Stalkers are going to take another step forward, but we're going to have to blink back once more. Energy overcharge used on the battery Prism. We just don't have the units to survive this, right? Zealots are warping in, but charge isn't done yet. We have to pull a few probes. Showtime just doesn't quite have the transition on lockdown. You know, it's surprising because I feel like we expect Showtime to have the next set of units ready to rumble, but losing 1 Immortal, just kind of chasing a little bit there, and this new Immortal's going to show up. Look at, it's not like Gumiho has a lot left. Very low HP units. We blink to try and get a Medevac again as we chase the Marauders drop and they punish. Showtime still on 61 to 47 workers. 3rd CC only just finishing from Gumiho. All of this was bad for Showtime, but the setup in the game is pretty good for him as long as he lives, and he is living. I still don't love his lack of splash damage, but a Forge on the way to start upgrades as well. And being kind of a weird game, right? Bio is going to start to work through apparently the rocks on the gold base as Gumiho will give himself an option to take his 4th base there. So that's going to be a chance that he has at the very least as we work our way through those rocks. They will fall. Again, Robobay coming up. The Forge and a couple of gates continue to produce. We have our army of Gumiho going to head back down to the south. The Watchtower being held by a Zealot currently. This is such a scary force. Like I say, Showtime's had the economy, but he needs to turn that economy into something that can really matter here. And again, I think it's just the lack of tech units. 2 Immortals ain't going to get the job done. He needs another round of Zealots at the very least to get in front. I actually do think it's a very Marauder-heavy army, which is a problem for the Terran against Zealot Immortal. So we've got to get that Zealot Immortal in position. We should be trying to blink away. Good retargeting on the Widow Mines, as the Widow Mines do go off eventually. They actually friendly fired a little bit. 10 probes already going down. I think Showtime just doesn't quite have enough here, guys. These Immortals will not get the job done. The base goes down, and Gumiho will brute force his way through an Amygdala. An aggressive series that favors Gumiho in the end. Yeah, GG is well played. I mean, Showtime just hung on. I thought that economy might come into play, but Gumiho just has too... I mean, typical Terran, where it's just like, if they can just get away with keeping on building bio units, being a bit behind on that eco does not oftentimes matter. Classic defeats Bjorn 2-0. So Bjorn knocked out in the quarterfinals. Classic qualifies for WardiTV November. He will be in the semis today, looking to play Max Bax, Ryung, or Harston. That series or set of series still continuing. And Gumiho advances on into his semifinal. He qualifies. He will play Shin or DNS. We will invite Showtime, guys. Showtime's a great player. He's a fantastic player to have in our events. He's absolutely going to get himself an invite, especially for trying out both of the qualifiers. So we'll be inviting Showtime. Excited to see more from him, as we will go into Shin DNS as soon as we can kind of grab a hold of that game. I'm not sure. They're not... Yeah, they're not in-game. Or they are in-game already. I'm not sure where or how long in-game they are. So, we'll probably be setting up to do the Gumiho versus Shin or DNS semi-final first, just assuming that because Ryung and Harstom are still playing, they're actually in a game 3. That actually might conclude soon, but very likely that our first semi-final ready will still be DNS or Shin versus Gumiho. So we'll get into that, and then we'll play from there. So obviously top 4 qualify today, guys, but we also have prize money available for top 2, so you can play through the semis and finals to get a bit of money on the day as well. Just gives us a little bit more action, gives us a little bit more content, and gives the players a little bit extra to play for. Gumiho Shin would be a banger. Honestly, if DNS goes through a Zaun and a Shin, I'd be excited to see DNS play Gumiho at that point. Then I'm hyped for the DNS run that is taking place, to be honest. Hell yeah, super excited to see how that pans out, as we'll take a few moments, and we'll get underway, hopefully. Fairly soon here, guys. Just giving it a couple. Waiting to get underway. Well, actually waiting for another series to finish. Waiting for that Shin DNS to come out again, but yeah, hopefully that's not going to take too long. Cross our fingers. A little scary because DNS does like to play the later game. Shin has absolutely let a lot of ZVPs lately go to the later game as well, so it's a little scary, don't get me wrong, but you know, we can sit back and hope and pray that it's going to be something that we can get into sooner rather than later. So, we'll take a few moments to figure out what our next plan will be. Like I say, wait for one of these guys to come out of game. Trying to have a look to see what the plan is. Just watching the Ryung Harstom game 3 for a moment or two. Pretty close games that those guys are playing. Yeah, that game 3 is actually a bit of a banger. Like, you know, I'm glad my analysis of which games we should have watched today were on point, because I do think Showtime Gumiho is very well worth watching. I would have loved to have watched Ryung versus Harstom as well. Just like I say, the timing didn't line up for us to do that. Harstom taking a while in his first round. But the ideas were definitely right. The games I mentioned have been turned into great games. Unfortunately, just can't watch everything that we want to watch all the time. That's the beauty of the group stages, at least. In the groups, we had to watch every single series. So that's a major positive, no doubt. Yo, Fireball, how's it going? Thank you so much for the 59-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. How you doing? Thank you so much indeed. 59, coming up to 5 whole years. As we'll take, like I say, a few moments here waiting for other matches to finish up. Good morning. Have a good day. Good morning to you as well, Juan. Appreciate you dropping in. Hope you guys are feeling good on the YouTube. If you're on the YouTube while we just have a few moments, take a moment to scroll down and give the stream a cheeky little like. Where are we at? Let's have a peek. We are at... Takes me longer to find it because I gotta open the YouTube app and I get distracted on the way. At 39 likes! YouTube, we can do better than that. Let's get up to 50 plus at least. Give it a like while we're just waiting for a game here. Help us out. Easy way to support, free way to support. Goes a long way, like I said. We're waiting for Shin to be hopping out a game against DNS. So holding out for that right now. Hit that like button, yeah. Well, you don't have to hit it. Just, you can click it nicely as well. You don't have to smack it, you know. Press it with however much force you see fit. But as long as you do light it up, you know, then brilliant. Shin just came out of game, so I think we might have either a result or another game hosting soon. Yeah, Shin wins. So we can go into Shin versus Gumiho in our semi-finals. And kick that off and get that TVZ underway. So a little bit of TVZ, ZVT, whichever way around you want to say it. Shin has been on fire lately. You can see 2-0s at DNS, who's been looking pretty good himself. I'm excited to kind of dive into the invites and figure out who we can, you know, how many of each race we have, and you know, see who we're going to invite and stuff. I think that's always very entertaining on my point of view. Excited to try and make a really fun playlist for this one. If it's not a secret, do you get better ad revenue from YouTube or from Twitch? That's actually really hard for me to answer, because I don't really know, and I run so many, like, Twitch definitely gets more ads run because the way Twitch runs ads is different to YouTube as well, and also then the viewership is very different and stuff. So I don't actually really know. Like, but I don't really know, like, if you watch a full stream on YouTube versus you watch the full stream on Twitch, excuse me, which one gives me more from that. So new patch seems odd. It hasn't changed the meta much at all. Are you tripping? That's kind of like that's kind of like what patches do in StarCraft 2 nowadays. The problem is we're too sparse on patches to do things that would genuinely change the meta in a major way. It has changed a lot of TVP openings. The thing is, there's not been a lot of changes that significantly affect what's good to build in the mid. I think the thing is nowadays, like, StarCraft 2 is so well set up that a lot of games are going to look fairly similar, but also have a lot of smaller interactions that are very different. Like, for example, the Ghost change is going to have a significant impact on how later game TVZ plays out. But later game TVZ is still going to look very similar. You're still going to see similar stages of the game, similar movements in the game, similar setups. It's just when we get to the later stage, Zergs will win a few more fights because the Terran can't build as many ghosts. So it's like, the meta is probably very similar. It's just kind of shifting things within the meta to kind of make it a little bit fairer or not. So I'm with you. Like, things haven't changed in a major way, but I mean, I think some of the timings and stuff will be there, and I think honestly that's almost a sign of a good patch in this day and age, especially based on what we can afford to kind of give out and so on as well. So yeah, kind of working on it, in terms of, like, seeing how much. The thing is as well, it's like, when you make changes as well, it takes a little while to take on over and actually have, like, an even bigger impact too. The beauty, you know, the StarCraft meta doesn't oftentimes. I think if you change something which makes the meta shift in a day, it's almost a bad change, right? Whereas if you make something which is, like, significant but doesn't affect it straight away, and then over time people adjust. Like, maybe the Ghost change affects how Terrans play late game TVZ. It affects how they approach going to the late game TVZ. But those things take a lot of adjustment time, which I actually think makes, like, for example, the Ghost change potentially a good change. It depends what you're aiming for. I think in the current state of StarCraft 2, where we just don't get a lot of frequent patches, I think this is probably one of the better ways to go about it, where things will change a bit, but not immediately and not drastically. Yeah. I think the patch in general was doing a lot of things right, which is like, hey, these are, like, little issues in the game. Let's try and fix those and see if we can improve Protoss win rate a little bit as well. I think Gumiho and Shin are vetoing. Gumiho was AFK, but it looks as though he's back now, so I think we should get that up and running in just a second, guys. A little bit of TVZ semi-final action for us in just a few. Awesome continues to play a pretty intense game against Ryung, by the way. They're 21 minutes in game on Indie Stream. They're playing some hella StarCraft 2 right now. Just watching from Harson's point of view, it actually looks pretty good from his point of view. But, yeah, not sure what Ryung actually has. I'm just taking a glimpse after not paying attention to it for a couple of minutes. Playline's going to be our opening map of the TVZ. We'll get this hosted up, and we'll kick off into this best of 3. So, Shin versus Gumiho. TVZ, best of 3, semi-final. Playing for some prize money now. These guys will be qualified into the WardiTV November event. Congrats to them. The final qualified player will be one of Maxpax, Harstom, and Ryung. And then we'll throw some invites out. We'll have to invite some Zergies, won't we? We're gonna have to invite some Zergies. That much is for sure. The top right is going to be our red Zerg as we enter this semi-final matchup. It is going to be Shin. Taking on the blue Terran in the bottom left corner of the map, we have Gumiho. Hatch coming through, a few drones coming up. Rax gas on the way, SCV building. So Overlord heads down to the bottom. Again, hatch gas and pool coming through. Rax on the way. Here it comes up. SCV moves down. Couple hatches. Again, spawning pool coming up. Just gonna have ourselves the drone in production as well. Reaper is still coming through. Command center building. The forward hatchery from Shin. So this forward base. It's been such a fun map, this one, to figure out, because this map feels great for Zerg. There's so many bases, but because of the forward expansions, it's not easy to hold on to those bases. We're seeing a lot of Zergs take this forward base early, maybe play a bit aggressively off of it, but it also means that it mines out early in the game, and then you're not having to hold the middle of the map against a late-game Terran player who loves to be aggressive in the middle of the map, right? It's coming through, just going to be seeing the grenade goes off. You're just going to see the drone building a spore. And the Reaper going to hop back up to the high ground. As the Queen is going to get there. And the Reaper will take a few more shots of damage. So a few more hits coming in for the moment. Ling's going to try and get a wraparound on the Reaper. Not quite able to just yet. But the Queen comes from the other direction. And that will be Shin getting the cleanups. That Reaper is down, dead, and done for. At the moment, at least. Aliens coming through, Tech Lab coming up, CC building as well. Our Queen's going to throw an inject onto the hatchery. And a couple of drones still coming by. The extractor and group humans are all coming up as well. Roach Roar now building. Now the starport will finish in a few moments from Gumi. A couple of Hellions are on the way. And SCVs, the Marine. Producing through a couple of injects will go down also. That Roach Roar still building on the side of Shin as the extra drones are coming up. Queen in production. Creep Tumors continue through as well as the Hellions do come in from the sides. Grab a Creep Tumor right there. Pick that off immediately as a nice grab. And again, the Queen's going to take a step forward. Those Hellions will be pressed away. 3 additional Roaches currently producing from Shin, so we get those all on the way up. Queen coming through. And Hellions are going to dive into the front, actually going to go for a few of these drones. Gumiho going to find 4 workers. Gumiho, last time we saw him play some TVZ on the PTR, was actually playing a lot of attempted mech builds as well. No, not a lot. He played a single attempted mech build. I'm getting him confused in the TVT he played. He played a little bit of mech in TVT too. We did see him play a mech build recently, but only the one time, I think. Yeah, the rest of the time he played Bio. And he's going to play Bio here as well. Stimpack coming out. Banshee very much so going to be for safety and coverage against any roaches. And just to keep that a little bit safer, as the Banshee will also provide high ground for these 2 Marines to go Overlord hunting. I think that Overlord gets away for now. We'll see how far the Marines want to chase, go around the other side. Overlord could try and take a turn, but we're going to prolong the inevitable more than anything else as the Overlord falls. And Shin hits a supply block. A pretty bad one too. No Overlord in production, so he's going to get supply blocked for quite some time. Such a very serious supply. He was supply blocked anyways, actually. He was already capped out at 74. So that's a big macro error on the side of Shin. He will stack up some minerals here where he could already be producing the next round of drones and so on. So that does add up. That does become a little bit costly. The Raven about to finish on Gumiho's side as well. Stimpack building. The Raven moves out. A few additional barracks coming in. The engineering bay coming up. Evolution chambers from Shin building in the main base. And our Hellions will continue through to the center of the map. So again, around to that top side. Hellions making some plays. A couple of barracks still coming about. 1-1 upgrades in Stim. Continue to come by for now. Nice to see these Hellions able to get some of the Creep Tumors. That's going to be a big help. You have a Raven as well. It means that you can get rid of a lot more of those Creep Tumors without having to spend any scans. Our StarCraft is rejoicing right now. They've been asking Terrans to make a Raven for years. And here we have it. Actually using a Raven to clean up Creep. It's not completely unheard of in TVZ, but it is an investment to make. And while it is obviously nice not to drop scans to clean up the Creep, it does slow you down tech-wise in other ways because the Raven is a pretty hefty investment. As Roaches, I actually don't hate it because an anti-arm missile hitting a good clump of Roaches can definitely make a difference in a fight as well. If the Marines end up trading against those anti-armored Roaches, the damage difference there is pretty darn huge. So I don't actually really mind the Raven all that much here. I think it's a pretty cool choice as we do continue heavily into the Roach style. 1-1 missiles as well as the infestation pits. One step up, Overseer will drop. And that is going to be a nice quick cleanup to the top side. A few Hellions still just to the side as well. He's going to drop a couple of injects down. Going to have ourselves the Bane Nest and the Hive coming through for the moment. On upgrades coming about. It's going to be seeing our Ling speed and our Roach speed coming through. Missile upgrades and Carapace continue to come about currently as our Roach Ravager will come forward. The Medivacs going to load back up. We back away just for now as Gumiho takes a step back. Again, has done good damage in this game. Is doing a good job of controlling some of the creep. And the Roach Ravager is not going to be a forever thing from Shin. He is moving into Ling speed, Bane speed. The Hive, of course, as well will continue to progress his tech. But, yeah, didn't really do anything with the Roach Ravager here early, and definitely feels like Gumiho is off to a good start. I mean, look at the army supply. Gumiho has masses of army. He is playing in 8 racks. I actually really like this. I actually think this is very scary for Zerg. He's trying to make the transition as well from Roaches into, Ling Bane. You're trying to make that investment and that switch into Ling Bane, but you've built Roaches so far. I think this is a very bad moment for you as the army comes around the right side. Marine Tank Hellbat gets settled in. Just going to be seeing the units going to come stepping forward. Anti-armor missile going to step down as well. A couple more Lings taking shots. Hatcher going to take a few more hits as well. That's going to go down immediately. We're just going to take another dive forwards. Queens will fall. Raven is going to be just about being kept alive as well. Bane's from the right side going to come back through. A couple of those get knocked down. Still seeing more units in the center. Step up once again. Still seeing our Ling Bane, Roach Ravager wanting to push through. Tanks hitting away. Hatchery taking damage. Another Ling goes down. This push was always going to be scary when Gumiho had that much army supply. Here the Vipers are trying to save the day as they set up great blinding clouds. It's 3 of the tanks. Gumiho needs to stim the Marines back, buddy, against all those Banelings. No reason not to. The Banes did way more damage than they should have been allowed to there. And that's just a mistake on the side of Gumiho, getting caught up in that fight and not activating that stim soon enough. Yeah, he could have done so much better over here. So many of those Banes just shouldn't have connected. I actually think if he just stims and A-clicks, so many of those Banes die before they even touch a Marine. Instead, now Shin gets a cleanup, and that's a big step in the right direction for him. On his way to an Ultra Cavern as well. Further upgrades continuing through. Good save on the Siege Tank. We do have Liberated production starting, and he does have a 4th base behind this 8 rack, so there is going to be further economy available here now for Gumiho. Ling's still chasing. Roach is coming through. A couple Marines going down. Medevacs load up. The Medevac in the center pulls back again. +3 and +2 both coming in. 2 2-mil upgrades and kindness plane coming up as well. CC will drop back into position. Get that 4th base ready. Biotank moving through. The Liberator going to set up at the front. Ravager's going to corrosive file down the lib. Goodbye and see you later. Finland gets attacked. Siege Tank sieging. Bio steps up. Couple creep tumors go down as well. Ling's taking damage. As they're going to try and run into this, the Bio will take another step backwards. Siege Tank going to get caught in a blinding cloud. Corrosive files will be good for the Liberator still. Roach Ravager getting turned in the other direction once more. I think you just stim up. The Roaches, the Ravagers coming through. The Viper will go down. Those Ravagers still getting caught as well. It's going to be a good set of cleanups as Gumiho is going to do enough. I was really worried he'd lost this game on that bad fight on that right-hand side, but able to get through. Hitting before the Ultras in good numbers. I think that should just be good enough. Kindness Plating is not still here, actually, so if you can fight some Ultras in this moment, that'd also not be too bad. Look how quickly they melt. They almost don't look like Ultralisks, as the Lings obviously in the front will do a good job as well. I think we should be trying to target fire that Ultra as we kite back. Kindness about to be done to help out, but will not be good enough. And Gumiho will take a game number 1 here off of Shin in our semifinals. So Gumiho looking good in the semis. Opening game looking good for him on ley lines. Definitely utilizing the map quite nicely. It's an all PvP affair on the top portion of the bracket, by the way, as Harston plays Max Packs. The winner of that will play Classic. Harston did get the 2-1 victory over Ryung to push him through into that round of 8 matchup. Harston getting some results lately. Cool to see as we wait for our game 2 of this Terran versus Zerg to start up just momentarily. Snowpiercer going to be our map. Pick him in the Shin. I don't know. Give me a 8-raxing. Doing well. That's a fun one. That was a fun one. As these two will chat for a moment. Ready and go gonna get cold. Hey, Stepship, thank you so much for the 37-month resub on the Prime. Welcome back, mate. As we get ready to go into more games. If you are enjoying the games, do consider supporting the channel. If you're on Twitch, do consider using that Prime sub. helps out a whole bunch, does a lot for us. So do check that out as we have to the top right corner of the map. It is going to be our red Zerg player. This is Shin. As he takes on the blue Terran with the lead in the series in the bottom left corner, it is Gumiho. Is it PTR? Yes! Pretty much everything we're casting right now is PTR apart from WardiTV Mondays. But yeah, this whole WardiTV November event will be PTR. We just held back from doing WardiTV Mondays on the PTR because one of our sponsors is the OSC, and the OSC have a whole circuit. One of their rules of their circuit is that everything's played on the live version of the game, which makes sense for 99% of the time. There's probably the 1% where it doesn't really make sense because this PTR is pretty much going to be what goes live, I would imagine. We're just waiting for it to be put live. But because of our partnership there, we will continue to play that one on live until until the PTR goes live as well. Deuce EXGHBG. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for priming us up. As the Overlord comes over the right side, Reaper in the orbital coming online. Overlord of Shin heading to the bottom left. Couple queens and lings all coming about. We do have the commence into building, Marine in production. As the Reaper will start to make its way out across the map, so Reaper heads to the upper right to begin with in these early stages. I think they'll add anything more or take away from the current PTR before it goes live. Nah, I think this really is the version we're going to have just go live, personally. Maybe they get rid of one or two things that has just not really had any impact, but I think this is the version we're going to get, to be honest. Keep it back down the right, link speed coming up. Queen and a few drones in production as well. And as that Reaper gets back onto the hatchery, so Hatch will take a few shots now. Taking a few nibbles. As the Queen fights and the Reaper will take some damage. Reaper gets pushed away again. Link speed, Queens all building for now. Starport is about to be done. On the side of Gumiho, as we'll lift off and drop that down onto the tech lab, the barracks is going to move across. The couple of Hellions continue to come in. A couple of Hellions continue to move around. As again, our link speed comes up. A couple of Queens coming through. The drones are producing. And the Hellions is going to be there for the moment. Queens will be there. Hellions get pushed back the other way. Reaper going to get turned around also. Again, the Banshee about to complete. A couple Hellions still building. Queens will be there again to push the Hellions back the other direction. And it's going to be Stimpack once again. Raven coming up. Do we see Mech? I feel like Mech probably won't be seen too much until the Cyclone bug is fixed, you know? Does anyone know when PTR goes live? No, we have no idea when PTR goes live. That's something we just keep on waiting to find out. I really cannot imagine it takes much longer than the rest of this week or something, but Blizzard seem to be pretty busy with Warcraft stuff at the moment as well, so maybe, yeah, maybe that's why. I don't really know. We'll just have our couple of lings getting taken out. They will fall. The mules drop into the natural. In this game, there's going to be just melee upgrades from the very get-go this time around here, as Gumiho only has his own 1-1 upgrades. But yeah, Shin going to play the melee upgrades instead of the roaches. A couple of queens is going to fire that Raven, taking some shots. And it's going to be seeing our melee upgrades. Lings coming through, the Bane Nest coming through. Queens will fight, Raven taking a few shots. The Hellion is going to turn back around. There's going to be one Hellion going down already. So one Hellion falls, second and third Hellion taking damage because we're busy back at home. Shin, one of the things he's been explosive with recently is the run-bys, and this is going to be one of those moments. Gets in for 4 or 5 SCVs. Make it 6, 7, 8 because we got Lings on the third base as well. And not only that, but we obviously got rid of some of the Hellions because they were distracted, not pulling away at the front during that time. Okay, melee upgrade still building in here from Shin. The 28 additional Lings producing, the lair coming through as well. As our Lings will step forward. And again, the armory about to finish up on the side of Gumiho. The couple of Hellions there, turning some Lings around also. What happened to Warcraft? They did like it's like Warcraft's anniversary or something. They released like a battle chest bundle, and there was like an update or something to reforge. I don't actually really know. I just saw some Warcraft people get excited about some stuff. But like, yeah, I really don't have much interest in Warcraft, but yeah, that's just what I saw on the timelines, you know, is whoa, Lings run by again, by the way. That's a tank that goes down, and Marines going down too. I actually don't mind it at all for Shane. Getting rid of a siege tank is almost always a good win. Always love to see that happen, so big plus there. As the tank moves through, the 2J upgrades are coming about. Again, 2G building, Baneling Nest. Just again, that Baneling speed coming through. The improved spines coming up. Banes crash in, Marines load back into the medevac. Drones going down, 4 drones going down, as we actually do have an order turret getting active. So the Raven just being a little bit of an annoyance. It's still in the back here as well, so can come back in to drop again in the future. As Gumiho tries to clean out a little bit of creep spread in the middle of the map as well. The medevacs load up and go pulling away there for a little bit as well. Just having Gumiho actually on a supply lead right now. Again, that army supply from him is absolutely massive in this moment as he plays the 8 racks once again. We are definitely seeing 8 racks be a thing on a lot of these maps, and in this PTR, it's been a very popular way of playing recently. Let's just have the Marine tank held back coming around the bottom side. Bane going to start running up. The Hydras are going to come through. A couple of creep teamers will go down. Obviously, the aim is this hatchery over here. You know, to go from here to here isn't too far either, so if Gumiho can get a good position bottom right, moving to the next base would be a factor as well. Tank Siege, we step forward again. Just then we see the 2G upgrades coming through. Infestation Pit, Lings, all coming about as well. Top left-hand side, it's a lot of Marine medevac moving around as well. Getting ready to make a move. Infestation Pit still building, the +1 missiles and overload speed coming in. Like I say, Gumiho's splitting. If you're going to split, you got to try and do something with it. I think he's trying to wait for 2-2 upgrades. We're going to fight before that happens. Here is Shin. Once again, units around the left side. Link Bane Hydra for the run by. These Marines are pulling, I think, go gather with everything else. It might become an issue, though. Do you see the Link Bane Hydra going to crash into the front wall off? A few Banes remaining, but it's not going to be enough defensively there for Gumiho. He is going to run into trouble. As now the Lings are going to get into that mineral line. Gumiho must do damage over here. Nope, that's not going to be it. Stepping on siege, don't the creep clumped up. These Banes are going to start putting the work in, and I think Gumiho made a major mistake by splitting an army off to the left side. This should have been an all or nothing push, right? This should have been an all or nothing push. You just go, go, go. And yeah, I think that would have been a much better situation if you just have everything all at once and you fully commit to that idea. Gonna go game 3 here of Shin Gumiho, and then we'll go classic max packs on the other semi-final and then our finals. So yeah, we'll do Shin Gumiho, game number 3. As we get this TVZ coming up, it's going to be El Dorado. And we're going to head into our 3rd game of this series. Darren versus Dirk, Shin versus Gumiho. Let's see what goes down. Go, ready, GL. As we count down into this 3rd game, let's get into El Dorado. Let's see what happens. Let's kick off into the loading screen. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. All right.
Up.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Terrible.
You
Dude,
just
I
got
can't
destroyed.
stand-
That was like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
What
I'm so
happened?
tired of playing versus 1 games, man.
Well, you still can't win.
No, I can't. I think he changed a little bit though, because he's now playing. He played Sentry into Immortal versus me. So at least that is, something. I think we can abuse him a little bit. But we need to figure it out. I'm gonna start a focus group of other Protoss players just to beat Max Packs. We share the results, and then we kind of map him out like an AI, all of his responses.
Yeah.
And then we figure out how to clear him, or how to get an advantage in any situation, really.
But it hasn't worked for the last 3 years.
It's because now I think it's possible. I think before the patch, I think Void Ray defense was too strong. I think Void Ray defense is not viable anymore.
With the node overcharge?
No overcharge? I don't think so. I think he has to do stuff with sentries. Or stasis wards or something. But I think it's sentries, to be honest. But yeah, it's depressing, honestly. The amount of series I had versus Max Packs 0-2 in 10 minutes. Jesus Christ. What's the score here? It's 1-1, right?
1-1. Game 3.
Were the games epic?
Gumiho's been 8-raxing, and he's either succeeded or not succeeded.
That sounds very epic. Fun games at least, or?
No, yeah, they've been fun. Shin's had some good run-bys in Game 2. Game 1, Gumiho nearly messed it up. Like, I think he was in a very good spot, and he took a very bad fight. But he was just ahead enough that he got it going with, like, the next wave. And it happened again in Game 2, only this time Gumiho wasn't ahead because he took damage. So this time he actually died when he messed up the fight. Gumiho has yet to perform a split against Banelings in this series.
Just a single one.
I'm sure he's done some, but like in the most critical of moments.
There's no split.
The Marines
Does he
have
at least
been
run away, or also no?
They've not been stimmed either, no. They've been walking backwards a couple of times over.
Yeah, that sounds rough. Do you see my game against Ryung?
I watched the Game 3, like not fully watched it, but I saw bits of it. It looked pretty epic.
It was super epic. I'm not sure how epic it was for Ryung. I think I flew in like 7 or 8 prisms into his main. I had like 17 gateways at like minute 13, and I was just spamming zealots everywhere. In the end, I had 25k resources lost more than him. Yeah, it got really close in the end. Yeah, like insanely close. I was out of cash. At some point, I was floating 14k minerals, and I was maxed. So it's not like it was because of my extremely poor macro. I
watched some of it on Indie stream, and then at one point I clicked your stream on, and I just saw you had the entire map and like 10,000 minerals and 300 gas. And I was like, oh, but like that looks pretty good, but I'm not 100% convinced. It kind of depends what's been happening.
At some point, I think I had an army that was like 45 zealots and like 6 stalkers. That was not optimal, I think. Dude, Zealots, they actually... I think there were fights where I must have lost like 3-4k, and I don't even think I killed a Marine, you know?
Yeah, Zealots get
They
like
just
that.
don't deal damage anymore at some point.
Yeah, when you build a bit too many Zealots, it's not very good for you.
Yeah. It was I was 4 gas on like 9 base or something like that, and a gold, so... Yeah. It was an experience for sure.
An experience. Damn.
Yeah. Okay, what's... Oh, this is... this is gonna be one of them technical builds that Gumiho sometimes does. So he's gonna snipe Overlords, then he has Hellions behind it, and just goes into Hellion Banshee. I've seen him play this in the past, and it always looks extremely bad if the Zerg builds queens and drones. However, if the Zerg is afraid of this and builds like 20 links or something, it's really good for the Terran.
Like if they just build units that aren't ever going to do anything. Which...
Yeah, because... Yeah. You think this is going to be like something... Because it's weird, right? So you're... Sometimes the Zergs, they're like, oh, this is weird. Let me just build like 10 extra safety links on top of the 10 that they already have, you know? So here you see he's building like 8 more. He's like, oh, this is odd. I don't think this is correct. I think you should hold the Marine Cyclone with like 5 or 6 links and then the Queens. And then the rest of the Queens can just hold the Hellion stuff and a couple of links there. And he's building quite a few more links now. 4 more. If Gumiho gets any real drone damage, I think this was kind of worth it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can so far. Being deflected pretty nicely. Queen's get a Hellion kill on the top side. The medevac's low, so it has to return home as well. We'll get rid of that Overlord at least, but that will be kind of about it for now. As the second Banshee will pop soon. But yeah, the Overlord has given Shin all the information, so he knows exactly what he's playing against.
Yeah, lots of info for Shin, man. Banshee Cloak's gonna get scouted. CC in the wall doesn't get cancelled. That's at least nice here for Gumiho. Didn't lose a whole lot. Medevac could probably get repaired, but I don't think Gumiho is actually planning on doing anything with it again. He's just kind of gonna snipe Overlord, see if he can find some more, and then go and find these Overlords. So far, he's gotten 3 already. He could perhaps get the one on the top side, maybe even the one close to the creep tumors. So I'm feeling 1 more at least. And don't forget, that's actually gonna help out massively as well for Gumiho when it comes to doing later on attacks, because there's not going to be good Overlord spread. If you, like, this Cyclone Medevac kind of functions how a Viking would function, right?
Right.
It's just an expensive Viking that also does other things, but really not a whole lot more. It's basically, we should actually view it just as a Viking.
It's a fun way to look at it, but I can't really disagree. As the Banshees, they nip in, they get a few drone kills, kind of getting cornered, taking some shots. So Shin taking some damage and needs to try and stabilize from here as Gumiho hits barracks number 4 and 5. This map, especially as Shin expands like this feels like a map you can't 8 racks on, right? Like, there's no good position to push into. You've got to go so far across the map to get into location. So I think this might be where Gumiho finally shows us a bit more of a 4th base and, you know, a 2nd factory and so on, instead of just 8 racks, 8 racks, 8 racks.
Right, guys?
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm gonna say this is gonna 8 racks anyways, because Terrans don't play by the rules. They, you know, they want to 8 racks, they'll just 8 racks. And I mean, yeah, I guess you get the forward base to go from, but I still feel like it's an awful push.
It is a gold single gas, Wardy. That the ingredients are here, you know.
Yeah,
he's putting it all into.
Yeah, the ingredients are there, but you're like you're pouring it into like a, you know, instead of pouring it into the cake tin, you're pouring it into like the fridge or something. I don't know.
Into the fridge.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
like,
true.
Like
that's a great analogy, and I got it immediately. This is very nice.
It's like you got all the ingredients, but instead of putting it in the oven, you put it in the fridge. There you go.
That nice, good.
It's like cook
solid. You know, an analogy was good when you repeat it a 2nd time, just to be sure that the people got it.
I fixed it the 2nd time. It was a better one. I couldn't think of anything else you pour ingredients into is the problem.
Yeah. Nice. All right, we have a minor attack here on the top side. There is Baneling speed already, decent amount of Banes as well. Tank isn't super well protected, but it's always scary to go through these line of sight blockers. So I think Shin is a little bit afraid of that. Ooh, Link here could attack the tank, are indeed going to redirect their attention to the tank. This was before Combat Shield and before 1-1, so both players missing a key upgrade, or key upgrades in the case of Shin. Shin's already expanded towards the bottom side. Gumiho actually is going to be adding in the extra barracks. This feels extraordinarily late, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't like it at all. I mean, I think it's because he's going to wait for 2-2 until he really sends it, but I don't know why the barracks themselves are so late. I mean, 2-2 starts now. I don't like it at all. He's going to be against 2-2 of his opponent against a lot of Lingbane Hydra. It feels like Shin is already on the drone count as well. All Shin has to do from here is just not really take damage and build up units, and I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Gumiho to take a successful fight with an 8-Rax. I don't see it at all.
Would you still like him to tech into Hive to kind of put a timer on it with, you know, Vipers coming out?
I think he's rich enough that he can just get away with it. Like, by the time this 8-Rax hits, he's going to be maxed anyway, so why not get an Infestation Pit and a Hive going, you know? Yeah. I don't think that's going to impact his supply, as Gumiho is going to get kind of caught here as he tries to push up to the top. The tank's siege in a bit of an awkward spot for Shin to deal with, but the Banes connect on all the Marines, and, well, Gumiho's army just gets wiped out, and that's kind of the danger. If your aim is to hit the 4th base, well, you've got to go all the way up and then across the map, and you just expose yourself so many times during that process. But in this case, it's going to cost Gumiho a good chunk of his army. Now the 8-Rax is definitely not going to look good at all.
Yeah, because the 8-Rax, the tank count is so freaking important, right? So the moment you lose any amount of tanks, he's lost 3 already, is severely going to weaken this type of push. Really trying to build on top of that tank count. Marines once again getting caught a little bit ahead of the army. Is there still some banelings in there? Yes, 1 or 2 are going to get the connections with the Marines. As Gumiho, honestly, is just kind of dead. Yeah. GG.
I wonder if he actually wanted to just kind of like have a lot of success on 5-Rax. And then just sort of, you know, have the option to throw the 4th base down. But then he was like, he didn't like what he saw. He didn't like what he'd done. But then, so then he just tried to 8-Rax anyways. But I don't know.
How many Marines do you think he got out of those 3 barracks? Like 3 each?
Oh, like basically nothing. Like maybe a minute worth of production, like 10 Marines. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the problem is then you're just so forced into doing things as well, right? So.
Yeah. I sometimes see him play the 3 extra barracks and then just pump the tech labs on those. So you get like a big Marine Marauder push much faster rather than just pure Marine. And then still get the 4th base afterwards. I've seen that quite a bit out of him in the past. So I was kind of hoping for that still. But yeah, just the pure Marine one, if you're losing tanks at any point, it just sucks so much. Like you're building on it so much every single time.
Yeah. Even just Marines going down as well, because so much of the 8-Rax is taking position, obviously a lot with the tanks, but then just having the Marines to sit there, spread, and just take a fight. And it's like, there's a point where the Lingbane just isn't as good against that, but, you know, a fight out in the center where Marines kind of get caught in from different angles, and the Zerg can make efficiency with the Lingbane on the Marines as well. Everything about that was pretty rough, so.
Awful, Marty. It was the worst.
It was the worst. Oh, you always bring such negative words to the stream. I love it.
You know what isn't the worst though?
Max Packs Classic?
Yes, but also the fact that all of these tournaments that are being run right now are funded by Wardi's Patreon, patreon.com/Wardi, where you can help. Every single euro that you pour into this Patreon gets used directly, instantly, for more tournaments.
Yeah.
This is true, no?
Yeah, no, exactly. Everything you support with on Patreon, 100% goes into a tournament prize pool.
100%.
100%. We even make up the transaction fees.
Transaction fees are gone.
Gone.
What are those even? Gone. You know, with Patreon, what's crazy is that, I'm not sure if it's still the case, but I remember when I checked before, if you want multiple people to have access to your Patreon account, you're giving up more percentage. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
So there's like a base percentage of like 7%. And then if you want a second account tied to the Patreon, you're giving up another 3% extra or so.
What kind of second account though?
Like imagine you have an editor that wants to put stuff on there. Or
that's ridiculous.
The social media, it is, isn't it? And 3 people, I think, was even more percent. And the base percentage already was quite high on Patreon, if I recall. I think it was 9 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Patreon was.
I mean,
I think it was always better than PayPal and donations. It's hard to say.
Is it?
I didn't look into it in a long time.
How are you getting paid out on Patreon? Payoneer?
No, it goes into my PayPal.
Oh.
But it's not.
Interesting.
But like, I'm pretty sure if someone put $5 on Patreon, I would see more of that $5 than if they donated $5 through the donation link, you know?
That makes no sense.
No, I'm pretty sure.
That is an absolute lie.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out.
I'm not
Apparently, Kofi is only 5%.
sure. I know, but like that's like a whole nother thing, and I already have a Patreon.
Just add a second one. Just add it on top.
I don't know. I already plug enough things. You know.
You don't have to plug it. Just
Yeah.
have it.
Mate, no, yeah, but like, there's no point if it doesn't go anywhere.
Why not? Maybe it does go somewhere.
Because like, there's just enough places for people to go to and links to click on. Like,
You should have them all.
yeah. I'm already telling people to do the YouTube things and then do the Twitch things and then
What are the YouTube things? Like, subscribe?
like the video, subscribe.
I don't think it does anything.
It does, 100%.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's bait.
No, it's not bait.
Yeah, I think it's bait.
I can literally see when more people subscribe to the channel, the viewership goes up. Like YouTube.
No. I think viewership goes up and then more people subscribe to the channel.
No. Because
you're seeing it
if more people subscribe to the channel on the day, the next day my video typically does better.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna need to see proof of this.
Hey, did you? I tried making YouTube shorts,
Yeah?
and this the first YouTube short I made was, you remember when you were like, you know, not to be
The
a
Clem
dick.
thing?
Yeah, the Clem thing, that one. You're like, not to be a dick, and then Clem like micros. This is now like my 4th most viewed thing ever on YouTube.
Really?
It has like 110,000 views. And
That's crazy.
It's got limited monetization because it opens up with you being like, hey, not to be a dick.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because on shorts you don't get monetized anyway. Like, it's no money.
No, well, my other shorts are making money.
How much did you get? I have a short with 60k viewers. I got €3 on that.
You got €3 on that? I have
Yeah.
a short with 7k viewers. I made €3.
What the hell?
I think YouTube hates you, mate.
Maybe it had nothing to do with me saying dick, but just the fact that I'm in the video, they take away your monetization.
Like, yeah, we can't support professional ProDOS content creators.
True. Uh-oh.
Alright. Players, we were only yapping on because one of the players needed a moment. He was...
Classic needed a moment.
Yeah, classic. I don't usually call out the players, but if you want to...
I always call out the players because otherwise it might make the other one look bad. People always assume that it's the foreigners that are doing the bad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but... is that actually a thing? It's always the foreigners' fault?
It's always the foreigners. You never read the TL.net forums, man? These guys are,
Try not to, no.
these guys are nasty. Are you coming to Home Story Cup?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Are you already
me
an
too.
announced invite?
I think so, yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's kind of not worth announcing. Like, you're just gonna be there, right? Like, it's a thing.
Yeah, part of the furniture. Like, they also
Basically.
don't mention that the couch is gonna be there, or that they'll have like videos. Like, there's a bar. And things. All right.
Yeah. No, it's kind of just an assumption. Is we play a map with a ramp, so both players gonna play one game.
Yeah, I'm very
Oops.
excited to see it. I hope Classic shows me something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, so you can figure out how to beat Max Fax for the next tournament.
No, I'm just excited for it. I don't think he can beat Max Specs either, so I'm not even hoping for that. I just hope that he does something new. What the hell is that thing in the middle? I've never seen this. I'm gonna ping it.
The
okay?
black hole.
No,
No.
it's like Wait, I can't even ping.
I'll
What
just
the
go
hell?
to your screen. Hang on.
Okay, you see it?
Oh, it's like a force field thing. No,
No, it's like a planet that is stuck.
it's not a what? That doesn't look like a planet. It's like a force field. It's
Really?
like a- it's like a
a hole in there in the planet. You can see
It looks like there's like a domed shield or something. No. It'll be much
There's
easier.
like stuff coming off it, like shiny specks of dust.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just. I don't know. I'm not gonna argue this.
Looks sick,
I
though.
just don't think it's a planet. No.
Yeah, it might not be. I'm not really tied to the
I
planet.
really
thing.
want someone to go near it so we can see it in full motion.
Same. Because I haven't seen it before like this, so it probably looks different usually, you know?
Yeah, you
When-
probably see it when like you're next to it, so you don't notice it.
Yeah, but now it looks pretty epic. I like these colors all over the map. I think it's pretty.
Yeah, the map's cool.
Yeah.
This map was not played a lot initially, and then recently it got played a lot more.
Yeah, it's not that bad, I think. There's quite some because the area between the third, fourth natural, it's kind of open. Like you can attack if you want to. Oh, what the hell's? Oh, we're doing it again.
Yeah, we're doing this thing. This keeps happening. Max Fax likes it apparently.
You want to hear something interesting?
Always.
The
Hang on, let me meet you. I hear something interesting.
It's immediately rude. Jesus Christ, it wasn't even that funny, Wardy. No one laughed. I think that getting an adept as the first unit against this, from Classic's perspective, is better. Because you drain batteries quicker with an adept, right? Anti-light damage, there's going to be Zealot and adept, so everything you hit is going to take more damage. It feels like you should be playing Stalker, 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 but I don't actually think you should be doing Stalker, 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 Stalker. Because you just can't, you can push through the battery then, in that case. It's just not possible. I actually think Classic is just not in a, well, actually. So if he doesn't lose 7 workers here, I think he's in a playable spot.
But it should be very doable, no? He's going to chase this adept. So he gets into the main. So now he has to recall in the main. An Oracle shows up. Stasis Ward is going to go off. Well handled. Oh, good defense.
Yeah, but there's still 2 more workers that will go down in the natural. So 4 workers down. No way of dealing any counter damage except a pure all-in. Which I guess is what he's going to be doing, right? Like, the only way he's going to win is with this proxy pylon. He's going to walk across the map with 5-6 stalkers and hope that the other guy doesn't have any defensive units. Dude, he's going to lose so many workers in the main. Look at this. It's going to be like 7 or something.
This is what MaxPax loves to do as well in PvP, right? Like, create opportunities where he can just pull you out of position one way and take complete advantage of the other.
Yeah. And how are you going to kill him now? Like, imagine you walk across the map, right? Just theoretically. Even if we were to teleport right now, Warp Gate is done. There is a battery already. There is the ability to build Void Race too. You can get a sentry, you can overcharge it. And don't forget as well that MaxPax has full vision if he wants to on the Stalker move out. Like, you need to keep Stalkers in the main and in the natural because there's 2. If you don't do it, you'll lose. So if you move out, you lose. If you don't move out, you lose. There's basically a timer on Classic's head, but he's also tied to a chair. The chair being his probes.
Someone in my chat said, what if you shoot the pylon instead of the Zealot with the Stalkers? Does that help?
No, of course not. Because you just... What?
To drain the bad range.
Dude, but why would that work? What? Why would that be faster?
Pylon takes more damage of a Stalker.
Is that true?
I don't know, that's why I was asking you.
I don't know.
Good to see we're on the same page.
I actually have no clue. No way, right?
Oh, the Oracles! Oh my god, they get away. Oh, that should have been a kill, I think.
Yeah. Hey, this game is fairly over, Wardy. You can open up with a sentry, because then you deny the shields really fast.
Yeah.
And you have force fields.
And force fields, yeah, that seems good.
I don't know if you have the gas for that immediately.
It's kind of early, right?
Stalkers must deal more damage against buildings, right?
Yeah, well, because the pylon's armored, right?
Yeah.
So it does
I've
have...
never noticed it that much because it doesn't feel like it does. Like with an Immortal, you notice it.
Yeah, but with the Stalker, not so much, but yeah.
It's probably true. Yeah, I had never thought of that. It's probably best to just shoot the battery if you build Stalkers.
Yeah.
Well,
DTs.
it's another exciting MaxPax game.
Yeah, DTs against no detection. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably if you shoot the battery, right? Because then you either have to heal the battery up or you lose a battery. And that probably happens faster than you drain the energy on the... from hitting the Zealot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Alright.
But I still think it's better to do it to get an adept.
Just get an adept and then you do more damage anyway.
Yeah, because I think you need Stargate as well, otherwise this happens anyway. Like, it's... I just don't see a way in which you can get away without a Stargate if the other guy has a Stargate. Like, it doesn't seem realistic to me. I don't think MaxPax really loses a whole lot.
No, he definitely doesn't lose a whole lot, I can tell you that much. I haven't observed quite a few MaxPax games.
I wonder if it would be better for me to just off-race.
Against MaxPax?
Yeah. Just do all-ins with Terran?
Oh. He's way too good to do that.
Really? I've beaten him with Proxy Marauder before.
Yeah, but if he knows that you're just going to try and proxy marauder him constantly, You don't think that that's just?
I think he would feel pathetic if he has to blind counter it, though. You know.
Maybe, but
At least he would feel
do you think he
pathetic at
cares?
the end. Hmm.
You think?
What do you say? Yeah, of course he would feel bad.
But I
blind
mean, who
countering,
cares
yeah.
if you feel bad if you win?
He was gonna win anyway, though.
Well, not.
It's kind of sad now. Guess this is my off race, really.
But maybe it's
like
kind of
15
maybe it's
more
kind of
high.
pathetic that you have to try and cheese him with your off race to win. Maybe you should feel pathetic.
No, I don't feel bad.
He's already made you feel so bad that that doesn't actually make you feel bad anymore. Is the problem?
Yeah.
He's
That was my
he's
ego.
already pushed you down into such a hole that like you have no feeling now.
Hey, there's some builds you could execute. I mean, it can't get worse than what I'm doing now. That's for sure. I even remember last time I took a map. All right. I'm actually really curious what Classic is gonna do. Once again, this time on a map without a ramp. That excites me.
Yep, that's a lot more exciting, right?
Yeah. So against me, I played this. I can't remember if it was this map. It was one of these maps. I think it was Snowpiercer I played actually against him. He went Zealot into Sentry, but he cancelled the Zealot. So it's just Sentry first, into Robo. Then he overcharges his Sentry, or energy recharges his Sentry. Double Hallucination Scout. But I don't think he will do that if you block his natural. Because if you block his natural, he'll be forced to finish the Zealot. And if he finishes the Zealot, his Robo would be delayed. So the Sentry build, I think, is not viable. See, we're figuring out bits of new information because he's updating as well in real time.
But can you figure it out faster than he updates?
I think there is, like, if we play this out long enough, I think he needs to change. I truly believe it because I don't think the Stargate one is safe anymore.
But what if he just
So if
finds
you can
another?
force him,
But what if he just finds another answer that is as good as the Stargate? It's just he
But,
hasn't found it yet.
But the point of the one gate expand is not that it has great eco. It is that it either has great eco or it has an instant Stargate, right?
Right? So it's just the fact that he doesn't have a Stargate, then it's like, it's just not good.
I think it's fine already in that case, yeah. Because if you proxy Stargate into Nexus, like your Nexus off of 2 units could go down at maybe like 240, but you have double Oracle, and he has like Zealot, Sentry, Robo, and a Stalker. It's like, that's not a great situation for him, you know? It's gonna 4-gate, I think.
Yeah.
And
Just
Maxtrax is... Yeah, so here he has to build a battery. See, against me he skipped the Zealot, so he could go Sentry, Robo, Battery, Stalker. And the Robo is much faster. I really wonder what he's gonna do right now. He hasn't scouted very much yet either. He sees the lack of a Nexus, throws down a reactive Robo. Do you think that's in time? 46?
I've learned not to doubt the Robo timing. I think it's going to be rough, but yeah, I mean, you get the Robo, the Chrono Boost. Is one immortal enough to save the day straight away too is a good question, right? Especially against like a lot of Warpins that are going to be coming through, but this is... yeah, there's the 4th gate going down. I think the Robo's fine, no?
Why would he build this gateway as the last one?
Yeah, Protoss keep doing... They keep doing this.
That pylon's out of range as well, isn't it?
No, I don't
Good
think
set
so.
of force fields.
I think the pylon's fine.
I made a sarcastic remark.
Oh.
These 3 force fields achieve nothing. He also used energy overcharge.
I was busy looking at the pylon.
That's okay. Okay, so Immortal won't be out. We're gonna have 1, 2, 6, 7 Stalkers. 8, 9 Stalkers versus nothing.
Well, it's not nothing.
I mean, it has no damage output, is what I mean. Gonna try catching it. He's
force
gonna
fields?
catch 4. That's big.
Yep, that's big, and now the Immortal's going to come down this ramp as well. 2 probes lost, a Zealot tanking some shots as well. Stalker's reinforced, but there's the Immortal, and now you've got to find a way to get on top of the Immortal, right? You can't let this Immortal just kind of live forever. And obviously you're counting down to Immortal number 2 as well.
Yeah, he is definitely counting down to Immortal number 2. Once that one's out, it should be over. Next energy overcharge also should be kind of over. He has it available. He can use it on a Sentry. I think that would be the play.
One force field, there is an energy overcharge on the Sentry right now. The Adept Shade in. We're going to target fire down the Sentries as Classic initially. Now he is going to be able to get this Immortal as well. Okay, the second Immortal is force fielded on the ramp, so we have a little bit of a chance to just fight Stalkers for a few more moments. I mean, that was probably as good as it was going to go for Classic given the scenario, but still not good enough, right?
No, I don't think so. Next energy recharge is not yet available though for our good friend MaxSpecs. That's his last force field. He's also almost out of battery energy, but the second immortal is coming out again. He just keeps getting a second immortal just in time. I think it's going to be good enough. Probes are being pulled off the line as well right now. We're going to get some target fire on this one immortal. Immortal will fall. Stalkers might end up dying though here. Yes, they're caught in a corner. Uh-oh. Caught in a trap. Now, maybe the amateur player would look at this and think to themselves, MaxSpecs has a response to the 4 gate, but did that really look convincing to us?
Kind of. He didn't look in trouble at any moment.
Yeah. Nah, but Classic lost 4 Stalkers without killing anything. And I don't think he had to commit into that area. He could have been shooting batteries. But then again, MaxSpecs also used 3 force fields to kill nothing, which is suboptimal.
Yeah, no, exactly right. That's the problem. It's like you can pick and choose this bit and that bit, but then, yeah.
You know what my true belief is, though, right now? Is that if you play against him going for a non-Stargate defense, you can probably proxy your own Robo. And have your own immortals, and then you can lift over. It's just a proxy robo then.
So you think a proxy robo is just a better response?
Well, yeah, the problem is you can't know what he's gonna do when you're doing the proxy, you know, ahead of time.
Why is it his build just seems unbeatable? Like why?
No. There's some mechanics here that we can abuse. I can feel it. Next time I will make it look closer, Wardy. Okay.
Okay. Next time I'll be very excited to watch your games against MaxSpecs.
Yeah, I'm excited to play again. I should just ask him for some custom games so I can figure it out.
Well,
but then he's also, no. I think he learns faster than me though.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Jesus. I was just going through my match history with Max.
How bad was that?
Yeah. 11%.
11%?
Yeah, and those maps, really all of that came from one series where I won 3-0 in 2021. ESL Open Cup Europe 63. I ended up winning that cup against Shilton in the final with a 3-2 score.
That's a sick one. A legendary Open Cup Europe.
Really, it really was.
One of the 11 or so that wasn't won by Clem, MaxSpecs, and Hero Marine.
Yeah. It's rare. It's very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah, that's the only win I've ever had against him in a tournament.
MaxSpecs is one of your nemesis on Eligulac.
Really?
Yeah, you have a -60 score against him. There's only 3 people who you have a worse score against. Well, 2 people you have a worse score against. One other person you have the same score against.
Who?
Raynor is also -60. Showtime is -62. Clem's -74.
Clem is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was that far down against Showtime, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that one, actually.
Yeah, me neither.
You must have had a period where you did not have a good time against him.
Yeah. I remember beginning Legacy of the Void. I was not enjoying it, playing versus him very much.
I can have a look.
I can't believe that I've been farming Bly, though. Plus 24. Nice.
There's a period in 2023 where Showtime won 10 in a row against you. In 2021 and 2020, he won like... Yeah. Actually, it was just pretty brutal for you. From 2016 until 2021, it was something like 17-2.
Was the Open Cup Finals the turning point?
It might have been actually. Hang on. Oh, was it 63?
No.
Yeah, actually it was. Yeah, it was. Kind of. You lost a few more after that, but then you started to get some more wins in.
Jesus. Yeah, that doesn't look great. Is the map up?
Yeah, I'm joined.
Oh, no.
It's funny.
Amygdala. What do you think of this one?
Amygdala, I like it. I think it's I think I said this when we first cast together, but it's weird. I remember being cast with Lambo actually, but I think it's weird without being badly weird. You know, like a lot of the maps are like You know, when they do weird, usually it's like most people just don't want to play it. I feel like this one's going to get play while still being interesting with the middle of the map being locked out. The gold base is a pretty good risk as well. I like it. To me, it's different enough without being just going to get vetoed every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually agree.
Like, this is almost like a good level of creativity for map making. We don't usually hit a good level of creativity with map making a lot of the time. Usually, the creativity level goes up, the veto percentage goes up heavily, you know? So...
Yeah, it's true. This one, it's interesting because this is one of those maps where, yeah, I don't even mind the watchtowers on this map, you know that?
No? In good places? No. Yeah, because they're not really super abusive, right? Like...
Yeah, well, theoretically, you see the entire map until the rocks are gone. So the early game is, I think, very straightforward, but then from there on out, it's chaos, man, from the highest order. Because you need to keep track of what rocks are gone and which ones stay. And then sometimes what ends up happening is you're busy shooting rocks, and then the other guy's just running, you know, running somewhere else where the rocks are also gone. So, yeah. And the middle part is so open. Once it's open, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. I really do. You know what I always thought would be a cool mechanic? Is having rechargeable rocks, basically.
Uh-huh.
So you kill the rocks, and then after like 10 minutes, they come back.
That would be cool.
Or they move, you know? Every 5 minutes.
What, they just move to a different rock spot?
Yeah. Different rocks.
So
There's like 10 rock spots.
Basically different gates opening throughout the game based on which ones got killed.
Yeah. Exactly like that. And then you can kill them again, of course. And then they will appear somewhere else once more. But you don't know where they're gonna appear. Like, you can know if you remember all of the timings, you know, but it's hard. It's like, oh. So you can have like insane timing attacks, or like a gate opens up like exactly at 10 minutes and you're there, you know?
That sounds like the kind of map that gets played twice over the entirety of a TLMC, and the 2 times it gets played, someone loses because the gate moves and it like blocks that all in, something like that, you know?
It would be sick though.
That would be a classic TLMC failure map.
Yeah, I would like it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, this map is good. I enjoy it very much so. Also because I had the Re-Young game there.
Do you remember the map from a TLMC, I don't know, like within the last year and a bit, where like it had rocks, but it also had minerals beneath the rocks? And like 3 times in this TLMC, they set up the all-in, they kill the rocks, and then they can't go anywhere because the minerals were there. What was? Oh, sorry?
Black Lotus.
Black Lotus, is that the map name?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was so funny.
I remember because I think it almost was in the real map pool.
Yeah. People complained about it so much.
Yeah, that was not a great map. I think your first 4 bases were free or something as well, right?
Yeah, you got 4 bases and like the opponent couldn't get to your side of the map basically.
Yeah, you had to kill the rocks and then mine the minerals. Then summon a demon and then, you know, it was all good. It's a wild thing. Ooh, did you watch the Warcraft Direct thing? You're not much into World of Warcraft, are you?
No.
They did an update on Warcraft 3 graphics.
Yeah, I heard something happen, but I didn't see what.
It's not complete garbage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's actually good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah. I was so surprised. As well. Even yesterday, I still was like, this is gonna suck. And then this morning, I played a bit with it. I checked it out. They ported a bunch of models from the campaign onto the skins of the already existing heroes. So you can... Do you know any of the lore or no?
Yeah, like, very slightly, yes.
Like, you can play with, like, different... You know who Arthas is? Arthas?
Yeah.
That's what he's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy, he has, like, different skins you can play. As, like, if you pick just the Paladin in the real game, which is kind of cool.
Damn, that is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, man, this is...
a legit update?
Yeah, it was a legit update. Nice. They call it Reforged 2.0, and it feels like what Reforged should have been. Yeah.
Well,
I was coping very hard this morning again. Like, maybe, you know, we can have something nice as well at some point.
It's just gonna be StarCraft 2.0. It's just like, hey guys, we've given you rebuildable rocks.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
We take them. You
know, when Warcraft 3 Reforged came out was 16 years after the last expansion. TFT, I think, came out in 2002 or 2003. And it came out in like 2018. So we're really close to that as well. Legacy of the Void was 2015. Like 6 more years, Wardy. No. 8 more, 9 more, 6, 8. 8 more years and we're there. But if you count from the start of the game, then StarCraft is 2012. And then it's really close.
No, StarCraft
it's like 4 more years.
StarCraft 2 is 2010.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So then it's like in 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
Yeah, as long as they don't mess it up in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were coping so hard. Alright, this was really nice harassment, by the way. It's so much harder to do stuff now with oracles and adepts that I'm always impressed when I see these boys still managing to get stuff done. Like the spores, man, they hit like a freaking truck. Except a truck usually only hits once. These spores, they just keep going.
Yeah. Love it.
I think double oracle plays are actually the way forward right now as well. I think the third oracle, it's almost guaranteed to be a waste. You're gonna deal majority of your damage before the spores are up, which is with 2 oracles. And then the third oracle comes in. Like, you also don't need the energy anymore because you have the energy recharge, right? So triple oracle build orders, I think, although they're fun to play probably, and you might still see them every now and again, I don't think they're necessary for defensive purposes. And I think they're worse because they delay your blink or they delay your charge or your +1. So I like that MaxSpecs is just going double oracle. You know what I also really love? Is that now, because you have so much energy on these oracles, you can bully Zerglings when they're around the map, you know? Like, you see like 10 links just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, you can actually activate on them.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, piss off here, this is my area, you know? You kill like 3 links and you know it's not worth it, but you just recharge for free and it's like, all right, that was fine. You do that like 6 times or something, it's kind of cool. You can also track them with Revelation, which is really sick. We're gonna see MaxSpecs now move out with a minor charge push. He does have a robo with it because we have a prism, but we're not having any immortal production whatsoever quite yet. We don't have Storm on the way quite yet either, although we have a lot of gas available. I would hate to see another Archon Warp in. I think it would be a blunder, a serious blunder.
Link's going to get a wrap around, obviously. Prism can micro. The Queens take a step forward, but Link Queen only. We need the Hydras, right? We need the damage output from those, and they will make a big difference if they can join up and get involved. Stasis Ward's coming down to allow the retreat as well. Can Shin pop those before they actually become influential? That's a lot of Lings already caught. That's going to choke up the Hydras moving through as well, as the next Stasis Ward doesn't do as much maybe, but Zealots are already showing up. The Hydras need to be careful. Now the Zealots make their way through as well, and these Archons are still just slamming their way through the units.
Phenomenal control on them as well. There's 2 really low Archons in the back, and they got microed away perfectly. Look at this control out of MaxSpecs, saving 2 Archons there. One of those Archons extremely low, managed to do a lot of damage. Behind this, Shin actually forgot to start his Hive upgrade, which is just a magnificent blunder here, because the one thing he really needs is a fast lurker timing.
The magnificent blunder.
The complete catastrophe, Wardy. I mean, he has nice gas, and he can easily drone up to like 81, 82, but you can't make up for lost time on the Hive. So what should have maybe been like a 9:30 timing here with lurkers is now gonna turn into what? Like we're looking like 10, 10:20, 10:25. That is not a neat timing to hit, let me tell you. At that point, MaxSpecs is going Blink and Immortal. Blink? What does he think there's gonna be Brute Lords?
I don't know. What does Blink have any use in this game? I mean, you don't really want to make Stalkers from here, no? Like, Stalkers are just such a gas cost.
Maybe to quickly sacrifice them to the gods at the start of a fight. They just blink forward.
Blink forward, the lurkers kill them, it's like, now I shall win this fight.
I mean, I don't believe in sacrifices to the gods, but I also don't believe in stalkers. So, you know, it's about even to me, Wardy. Zealot run by on the right side is going to get cleared, but not before it snipes a queen. And of course, When I say cleared, I mean MaxPax just pulls it back like the good Protoss boy that he is. Two Immortals are pumping away at this hatchery in the middle, and this is what we were talking about earlier, is that this middle hatch, yes, it is a gold, yes, it has 2 gases, but it's also extremely vulnerable, and if the opponent takes a position up behind it, you're not gonna keep it. Shin now down to 4 bases, and that really means that MaxPax doesn't have to do a whole lot. He can just kind of relax. You have 10 lurkers on the way, you have Seismic Spine still 30 seconds away from finishing as well. Fleet Beacon, second target on the way. Ooh, this is a scary fight because all of these Templar are gonna end up falling. I don't think the Hydra count is big enough, but the Lurkers might come in to save the day. No, even without the Lurkers, these Hydras, man, they're pushing out quite a bit of damage. Ah, that one Archon, yep, still gonna get sniped. One more, can you get that? I think you can. I'm not so sure what MaxPax is still doing here. Does he?
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, the fact it looks like he's just like still ready to send it into those lurkers, but I think we need to step back and just take a moment. Let's step back up. Nidus Network comes in from Shin, give him some opportunities as we move through this. And yeah, MaxPax on his way to that mothership, something to aid him in some of these fights going forward.
Like, MaxPax is really far ahead right now. He's up 10 workers, he's up in supply, he's gonna have better tech, has a good immortal count. All he needs to do in the next minute and a half, 2 minutes is not die. Make sure no Nidus worms can get up into the natural or into the main base. Winning some time here with a prism is great as long as you don't lose that prism. It is going to barely survive with 20 HP as he reroutes it into the main. Spore's not in position there, so could potentially go in. Nidus worm goes down in the natural, but as there's nothing going on, MaxPax's response is instant. 6 zealots, and he's gonna right-click that bad boy.
Yep. And get some damage done. A couple of zealots continue to go through. A couple of drones going down. Hydras will get the prism. This zealot will go down as well. As we got the lurkers just going to fire it up. A couple of zealots go down. Again, Stargates, Mortal Tempest, another ship all building through. The +1 air weapon's going to come in as well. A +3 ground weapons. On the way from MaxPax going to help us also as Shin at least does survive through this stage. I do get worried from his Tempest come online though, because that's the answer that MaxPax needs to deal with this lurker phase, and then Shin's gonna have to look toward his Spire.
Yeah. Ooh, another Nidus worm. This time MaxPax not as quick with the response because there's a lot of stuff happening on the map. Nidus still going up. We're, well, 10 seconds away now, 5 seconds away from it finishing. I think it will finish, and these lurkers will pop. That's going to be an issue for sure. Lurkers now popping out. That's 3, 4. Need to burrow, need to burrow. Hello, Shin. Very slow there on the burrow, and as a result, Zealots might just be capable of cleaning this up. This could have been a serious issue with, at the same time, a lurker push at the 5th base. But now MaxPax is just going to clean it up without any serious trouble. Ooh, that was really close, and Shin kind of ruined it for himself.
I think Shin was preoccupied. He was killing like 3 Archons on the far left side of the map as the Nidus popped, so he just probably was looking elsewhere and trying to figure that out. Unfortunately, I think, as you say, MaxPax is starting to win just multiple different locations, and with the Tempest coming online, Shin needed more in this last couple of moments. Now Tempests are up, and they're going to be able to very easily deal with these lurkers, and we don't really need to push into them as aggressively on the ground anymore. Just let the Tempests do their thing and put themselves in a great position.
Yeah. Spire's on the way instantly already for Shin, but let's not forget Shin lost his 5th base. That is not a luxury that Zerg can really afford. You need to have that 5th base up. You need to be up at least 2 gases against the Protoss player. And the moment you're not, life is going to suck because you can't make that Spire transition. And you can't even really get these very high lurker numbers that you usually want. Maybe the spamming of the Nidus as well. You know, all of these things are just not there. MaxPax now perhaps considering taking his own gold base with the help of a Tempest. Of course, it's going to be much easier to hold it because he can always push his opponent away. Ling run by heading on towards the top left, but these are Lings without adrenal glands. +1 melee, no carapace upgrades. Good luck against those Archons, boys, but it ain't gonna work.
Trying to move around the top. Spire is going to finish from Shin, give you some options there, but not really believing in that too heavily as the spines come online. The +3 missiles is coming up, couple Nexus and cannons on the way from MaxPax. As you do see the army of MaxPax heading to the bottom. Spines, lurkers, Spore just in position here already, as we do have the lurkers going to activate already and go over to the left a little bit. The spines are going to take a bit of a beating. Queen will go down as well. I mean, again, there's just not a great answer to the Tempest, but the Corruptors are on the way. It's just they needed to be on the way a little bit sooner. And Wolfstorm not doing too much, just zoning. All the lurkers are going down already, man.
Yeah, lots of lurkers going down. 18 Corruptors now on the way out. I mean, there's not that many Archons here. There's not a whole lot of anti-air in general. If you can get all 18 Corruptors here, and you can fight before the second part of the army joins in, I mean, maybe you have a fight on our hands here. Like Storm, 2 Archons, is that enough? No, not with a good free split. Corruptors are setting up the attack, the surround here onto the air army. Stasis Ward is in there as well. Lurkers joining in the fight too. Storms are okay, but not brilliant. Look at this. A lot of these Tempests are being damaged at least. Mothership is going to get targeted down first. This is an extremely good fight here for Shin. However, in the context of the game, it actually doesn't matter that much that he kills all of these Tempests because he doesn't have the money to rebuild into Hydra Lurker. MaxPax does have that money to build whatever he wants. And Shin is even going to throw away these Corruptors pretty much for free here, trying to take out the 6th base, but I don't think MaxPax is going to be losing any sleep over that.
Well, these Corruptors are going to cause a spray. They will get the... Oh, no, they break off the base, so they don't get the kill. They do lose a lot of probes here as Shin trying to capitalize on the moment. I mean, MaxPax immediately goes left side, hits that hatchery with some Zealots as well. The Nexus continue to take some shots on the gold as the Lurkers will continue to put some work in. The Archon's going to try and step up as well. One Archon goes down. Tempests continue to produce 3 at a time. I think it's right to re-establish the Tempest control. I guess so. I guess there's only 3 Corruptors left, so I guess rebuilding the Tempest is not a bad choice. As Lurkers continue to play defense.
If Shin had not lost like 10 Corruptors trying to take out that right side base, I'm not saying he has a chance, but he's done a lot of damage. Yes, he's taking quite a bit of damage as well, losing the left side base, but he can probably re-establish back up to 10 gas pretty quickly. He really needs to take out that right side though. With the Lurkers he does. Now he needs to pick up and piss off. He's adding in more Corruptors. Like, his movement in the past minute has been phenomenal. It's just, these are all problems that kind of come from the early game, you know?
Yeah, he had a rough start, and that's obviously becoming very limiting at this point. Tempest get a couple of the Lurkers there, a couple of Changelings going to get popped down. Corruptors up through the center, and they will try and chase those Tempests, but they're going to get pulled back. We get one. It's okay, but Max
better than 0.
Money.
Yeah. Like, that's really the problem, right? If Shin has 6-7 bases here, and he can continue this aggression, but he can't because he has to max out first before he can do anything. MaxPax running in 10 Zealots into 2 Lurkers. That is a non-optimal way of using those 12 Zealots there. 10 drones are being taken out. This gold once again is being blasted down. This time by Immortals plus Tempest. Observer almost dead, by the way. Do you have any Oracles in the mix still? Yeah. Are these the early game Oracles? No, I think they're new ones. They have no kills at all. A couple of Stasis Wards. Some Revelation is going to be great as well. Mothership back on the field too. And, I mean, MaxPax is being very aggressive. And I think that's just the correct call as well. Another Zealot run by heading out towards the right. Oh, here comes the surround onto the main army. Corruptors coming from the left. Hydra Lurker from the right. We're gonna see an attempted recall. It's gonna cost him 2 Tempests.
Yeah, I mean, has to back away. Already has Zealots in position to make it difficult for Shin to just full commit across the map, though. And MaxPax's still the one with money to spend, right? So he can rebuild, get units back on track. Like I say, he forces the units to come back down to defend those Zealots, and that means that you are now going to give yourself time for another round of Tempest to come up as well.
Yeah, but MaxPax, he's losing a lot of crap here, man. And this time the Corruptors actually stayed alive. So, I mean, realistically, you look at this scenario, it is still extremely MaxPax's favor. He has the ability to take 6 bases pretty much for free. He has better eco. He has better upgrades than his opponent. Like, there's +3 in the air. There's +2 in the air, soon +3. There's +3 on the ground. Like, it should be fine, but if MaxPax takes one more bad fight at this point, I think he will struggle. Absolutely. And he doesn't have a recall available, so this right side army could be in trouble. I think
you think?
Sorry?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too, but you lose the right side army, it's over.
Sure, but
I mean, I don't think Shin can kill it, but you know, it's the only way you can lose.
yes, that's very true. As we are going to see the Tempest coming through, those Lurkers will go down. MaxPax will be able to reattain mining on the gold for the moment, at least, as the Corruptors are already spreading and looking for their hunt forwards. Here we go. He's going to send it in. The Archon's derping a little bit on the Nexus and the cannons, but going to be able to free themselves.
Yeah, no way. I mean, you can't attack into a gold mineral patch base. Like, not full send it. I really think he should have full send it on the right side. I know, like, it's unlikely that he wins a fight, but it's going to be the only chance you have at winning a fight. Like, your opponent gives you an opportunity, like, you have to take it. Like, this, you know, the situation is just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I think at this point, I'm really not seeing a path to victory anymore.
Well, Spines are going to set up. We are going to see the mothership overhead. The Corruptors are going to try and get this little group of units on the left. We use a time warp to help play the escape, but the Corruptors will still hunt, as they should, as our mothership will just go down. So mothership falls. Hawkins got a bit of damage out, of course, on the right side. It's still looking terrifying here as MaxPax approaches the bottom side of Amygdala. Group teamers will be falling. The 10th Lurker getting knocked down as we move. MaxPax continuing to look good as 11 more Zealots get warped in. Actually, you can see the Corruptors are going to dive into this. They eat a bunch of Corruptor shots, Storms initially, sorry, as the Corruptors try to get their shots off. But man, Archons plus the Storms. And this is decisive for MaxPax this time around. GG.
Yeah, but honestly, if I'm MaxPax, I'm not happy with this game one bit, let me tell you. Like, this was an almost unlosable position from the early game that he kind of carved out for himself. He clears a 5th base. It's 4 versus 4 for a very, very long time. He deals with all the Nidus as well. He gets the perfect army composition, and from there on out, Shin takes some phenomenal fights, no?
Yeah, I mean, Shin did a great job of staying in a game that was definitely very tough to stay in. But, yeah, has to fix up the early stages, right? I mean, not pretty for MaxPax, but if you can do the same again, then fix some of the, make some of the adjustments just be a bit better mid to late, should be fairly convincing as we wait for Shin to get swapped into the player spot, swaps over to Zerg. We're going to have game 2 on Snowpiercer. I think this is the map which I've begun to see the least of in the PTR.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Why? Tell me.
I know, it might have something to do with the fact that the 3rd base is closer to the opponent than to your own natural.
Might be that.
You see, well, which base do you think the 5th is?
There's a 5th base.
Yeah. Do you think it's the 6 o'clock? Imagine your MaxPax. It has to be the 11 o'clock now. 10 o'clock? What is that?
Yeah,
10.
you have to go top left.
That's not a nice base to take. If these rocks are down, how the hell are you gonna defend that? And how does Zerg get a 5th as well on this map? Like, it's really far away. This map is... I am very curious. I don't even know who it's favored for. You know that? I just veto it. Actually, I think it's Terran favored in PvT because your 3rd base is undefendable. Yeah, I had to deal with Reaper Hellion on this map. Like, just a Reaper and a Hellion. They can go anywhere. I don't know. It was against Clem as well. They got like 17 workers or something. It's like 2 units. It wasn't great.
Excuse me. What would you like Shin to do through the early stages?
Something crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah, play a proper macro game. Like, just full proper, you know? I actually think that the early game is not so scary anymore against MaxPax in the new patch. I gotta eat some fries though, so you need to kill the time for the next 45 seconds. Minute and a half, okay?
Okay. Alright, well, Nexus is on the way up. Catching the pool coming in. And we get ourselves game 2 up and operational here on Snowpiercer. It's pretty awesome game number 1 in the end. Obviously Shin really making MaxPax work for it. Can Shin just get a better start, so if he can play a similarly good mid to late game, he can actually be a little bit more competitive a little bit earlier in the game. It'd be a very cool way to make things work or set things up. See what happens as we get this going. Just gonna see our probe coming back down. Stargate building. MaxPax getting that going. As the probe continues to make a little bit of a move. Just with the probe. Again, Stargate building. Nexus on the way. And the depth just going to chrono boost along as our link speed and the couple queens and the drones all building up. Getting settled for the moment. Depth shades out. And Stargate, not too much of a surprise for the map. No surprises there at all. As we continue to come through. And just going to be seeing that depth on the move. Again, link speed coming up. Oracle and the warp gate continue to come online. I'm going to be there. Push that back. A couple more queens coming through. The link speed is coming in. The additional drones are coming up. Oracle and the warp gate producing another gateway goes down. And we just have ourselves the adept, the gate, the link speed coming through. Oracle continues up as...
What do you think of the line base here, Wardy?
The line base?
Yeah. That has to be the third, no? Is that even closer?
What?
The line that Shin is taking.
The Shin's taking?
Instead of the triangle.
I mean, the third base is just sucking this map as well. like this map just does not have a good base layout.
Or is it interesting?
No, I think at this modern day of StarCraft 2, like, the third has to be manageably takeable, right? Because the entire game revolves around that.
Yeah, but I think it's still within the realm of theoretical possibility. Like, especially with the new Spore, I think... Look how long these drones need to walk, though. Holy crap. Dude, they're vulnerable for like half a year.
It's so far away. I think even like the location of the base isn't that bad. It could move up a bit, and if you rotate the mineral line upwards, like if you had to rotate the mineral line around, maybe that would just be fine. But I don't know. I don't like the base though. I just don't think it's very fun.
I mean, it should theoretically as well here. It should encourage aggressive play, no?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So I mean, I'm interested in that. We're gonna see 2 more gateways. Ooh, Blink and +1. MaxPac only playing two oracles very consistently. It's gonna snipe a couple of these tumors. Shoot cancel. Shin is gonna have... Ooh! I was gonna say he's not gonna have links in position for these next 2 adepts, but he absolutely did. 2 adepts for 2 drones at this stage of the game. Hell yeah. Shin's gonna be very happy with that, because those 2 adepts are basically -2 stalkers into the next push. We have +1 melee coming in as the opener as well for Shin. So theoretically perfect. Once again, it is +1 melee versus Blink. This is exactly what you want if you are the Zerg player. And it's the exact opposite of what you want if you are the Protoss player, because links are the way to deal with stalkers very often. 4th base is now on the way. We very often see a 5th base being taken simultaneously, but because the 5th base is so far away, I feel like I mean the drone has to start a journey at some point, because you're just gonna get this fort cancelled. Look at this. How are you gonna hold this fort without creep? You can't. And even with creep, it's hard. Like, these 2 oracles are just pumping, man. What the hell?
A couple oracles moving around. Hatchery is going to get dropped into place. There's going to be seen that blink coming up, +1 attack coming through.
It's a Ling Ravager all-in with +1 melee. This is a build that Lambo made, and a lot of the Koreans have started copying it. Basically, very high Ling count initially, then you still take a 4th base, and you have the +1. So the dumb Protoss player looks at it and goes like, it's macro. But in reality, it's an all-in. And you're going to pump across the map with Ravagers, a crap ton of links. Ideally, you actually have the fort, so you can easily reinforce with more links as well. This really packs a freaking punch, let me tell you. Shin already has a lot of units out on the map right now. Very low drone count. MaxPax needs to be careful here. He can't get caught with his stalkers. He can't lose his stalkers. It would really suck. What the hell are these links doing on the left side?
They're just chilling, not making a move like they should be. Shin's usually so good with his run buys, but not really making a play with them just yet. I mean, he usually is so good, but like, yeah, he's just going to completely miss the opportunity with them, right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I'm just pulling them back to deal with this push. I also would have been fine with, because this is not such an easy push to hold. if you also have 16 Lings in a double drop, which are heading to the main base right now, Shin needs to get himself across the map with those queens as well. Lots of roaches are going down already. Lings on the top side still not participating in the fight. You have a single Zealot weapon in the main base for MaxPax. Ooh, Shin is immediately going to evacuate these double drops. Does not want to lose him. I think MaxPax is accidentally holding this all in on the other side of the map.
Well, the Stalkers are going to be able to keep on pushing up this ramp. Shin continues to go back and forth. MaxPax has so much on the way to tech up with, though. Like, that's a concern, right, for Shin is, you know, MaxPax gets to this point where he's got all those upgrades and Storm coming through, and Shin is just kind of playing pure Roach Ravager Ling. So he's got to go. He's just got to send this, and he's got to try and win the game right now. He's going to bring the Queens and the Dropper Lord, and he's going to see if he can get it done.
I mean, Shin had to hit like a minute and a half ago or so. Hey, this is really freaking late right now. Does not have any creep here quite yet either, with the Overlords pooping it. So ideally he hits between the natural and the fort base, I think. I don't think you want to walk up this ramp. I mean, Storm is almost about to finish. This should be a fairly easy, fairly simple hold here for Max.
Yep, I mean, the army comes up to the top side, going to hit the third base. It's a lot of Zerg units, as MaxPax is going to get a stasis ward that will help him along. He's going to have to, I mean, he's got I guess he's going to run out of stack defense on this top side. If Shin can just corrosive it down, that stasis ward's kind of big, right? Holding a lot of the Roach Ravager DPS away. Shin's supply block is actually reinforcing, going to become a little bit more difficult for him. There goes the final battery on this position, but MaxPax's units coming up from the natural now. They should really simplify it, even as the units pop out of stasis. And he's going to have to pull the probes away as well. I mean, Shin still has a lot of units, man.
Yeah, when I said I think it's going to be relatively simple, I thought we were going to keep at least some Templar around, but he morphed 4 Templar into Archons. Both of these Archons ended up dying, and then one Templar got sniped before Storm was there. Storm was like 5 seconds away. Now I'm actually not so sure. These Roaches don't have any upgrades, let's not forget about that. And there are 2 on upgrades for the Stalker Immortal. Supply is going down for Shin here, as more and more Roaches now busting in through the natural door. There is an Oracle still somewhere. It needs to come back into the natural to help out. I do believe that MaxPax is going to be fine in the end, but he's got a whole lot closer than I think it should have been.
Yeah, that was super scary, right?
Yeah.
Super scary.
I thought he lost there for a second.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was casting because I really believed he was going to hold, and then, yeah, just like you say, he really did look as though he was not going to have a chance. I think Shin being supply blocked for a little bit was actually a pretty major deal. Because imagine he just has a little extra round of units a little bit sooner. That could have maybe made the difference as well. Oracle eats up an energy overcharges, will drop a stasis ward down, and we start to make a defense on this bottom side base, which is now going to act as your third.
Do you think it's better here to put it on the Oracle rather than the Temple? I think I'd rather have 2 Storms. The link count is still
significant. Because the link count's super high, but first stasis ward's extremely good. Second one kind of denies the links for now as well. Yeah, but you know, you said it, so the stasis wards were always going to be amazing, right? Like, all right.
Nice. I mean, the links are still alive though. It's just they'll come into action. They'll jump into action a little bit slower. Ravager count is phenomenal too here. Oracle is running out of energy. Here comes a storm. One of these Templars gets knocked out. This base is in some trouble, Wardy.
That base is going to be dying. I mean, MaxPax has to give it up. He just can't. I think you're right. With the Storm, he would have been able to get through the Lings a lot sooner, but instead, he's got to fall back with the Stalkers. And because he doesn't have the Oracle to help against the Lings either, he's just got no good answer to Lings. And that's an issue as we continue through. Now, he's dealing mega damage across the map. The Zealot run-by Warpin is doing work. So, Shin is very committed here. Obviously, MaxPax maybe could have done with those Zealots just back over here, because if he had the Zealots over here, I don't think he ever loses the third base. Then he can actually just tank the Lings. Stalkers deal good damage. Once you're through the Lings, it's mostly Ravagers. They're so exposed. Then you could have done extremely well, right?
Yeah, it still might be fine though. Can we get a transfuse on the lair in the main? Yes, we get one. Can we get a second? No, we can't. It is 123 supply to 113, but don't forget, it is 2 on upgrades versus just +1. And with the Stalker count being this high, I think MaxPax in the end is still going to be capable of doing it. But he made this game much closer than it should have been. And yeah, pretty much the story of this series, I guess, is Shin almost making a comeback in games that should be theoretically unwinnable.
More Roaches coming through, the Nexus and the +3 attack coming in. High Templars are producing. Just having ourselves the game stabilized. And Shin is seemingly a god at kind of making bad games good. But then, yeah, not quite having enough to really see it to the other side, right? As I think MaxPax with this base backup line here is looking pretty decent. He does have Storm available. He hits a great Storm on the Roaches to soften them up at first as well. That's going to hit another good couple of Storms. Well, that's pretty much going to do it. And MaxPax is going to win. It was just much more challenging than we thought it would be, based on what it was looking like.
Impressive stuff, though. Nice series as well.
Yep.
No? It's a good one.
It was a really good series because it had MaxPax looking good, but obviously Shin really showing the competition, and it's a fun series as well because these two were, I'm not going to say back and forth, but Shin's beaten MaxPax a few times in our events lately, so it was definitely not, one that was up in the air. And you could kind of see that with Shin fighting back after some rough early games.
Yeah, no, for sure. I liked it. Good tournament. You think
Yeah.
I'll get an invite for the Wardy Open or no?
Yeah, I think so. You made round of 8. You played yesterday as well, right?
Yeah, I played both tournaments. I made round of 8.
You made round of 8 in both. Oh, you definitely get an invite. You're on the
Yeah.
same page as Showtime.
I beat Zaun yesterday.
Sounds not good in PvP, it seems. He keeps losing.
What?
He lost to DNS as well.
Oh, right. Lose to Hearthstone and DNS. This guy is absolute balls. Can't believe I was proud of that win.
Yet to see Zaun win a PvP is more the issue. It's not who he's losing to. It's just I'm yet to see him do well in the matchup.
All right.
You know? Yeah. Can you provide me some evidence that he's a godlike PvPer?
No, I can't. But sometimes when your friends are in a rough spot mentally, it's fine to lie to them. All right?
What? No, I mean you don't need that. You played some sick games today. You beat up Silky in an epic 3-game matchup, and then you took Ryung to the late game, trading terribly but still winning.
He beat DNS a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A week ago he beat DNS. I think in PvP he's just not as good as his PvT. His PvT is really good.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Yeah, his PvT is very good. I kind of wanted him to do better to be able to invite him, because I think he'd be cool to have in the event, but then that's a bit more difficult when...
He beat Hero a week ago, 2-0, and Nightmare 2-1.
Trust me, I don't doubt that he's capable, just it's clearly an inconsistent matchup right now.
He beat Hero as well a month ago, and Nightmare as well a month ago.
Yeah, but
his PvP seems on fire, to be honest.
That's non-patch.
I think we put out the fire. That was Zaun's PvP.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, it was on the patch actually against Hero. The KSL, that's on patch, no?
On the 19th of October? That was before the patch was announced.
No, bro. The 2nd of November.
Oh, no, I was looking at the one before that.
Yeah, you were digging deep, but the real treasure chest was closer to the surface than you thought.
He beat Hero on the patch. No, I don't disagree, but also Hero has had his moments in PvP.
Oh, here we go. I also had a good series against Hero yesterday, I'll tell you. I lost 2-0, but
I saw
theoretical
the
victories.
I saw you looking as though you should have maybe had a chance to win.
The first game was even better. The first game was a theoretical victory. I actually count that one. The series is still 1-1. We still need to play on the third game. It's true. All right, Wardy. It was a pleasure again.
All right.
I've been enjoying spending more time with you.
Yeah, it's been good to have you, come back and cast again.
This was my New Year's resolution as well, to spend more time with my friends and loved ones.
Only took you 10 and a half months to get to it.
Better late than never, Wardy, is what I always say.
Wow, what a great proposition. All right, yeah, I'll invite you.
Yes.
I'll,
Nepotism at its finest.
I'll send
Actually, no, this is a meritocracy. Can you pronounce it with a British accent? Probably?
I don't know what that word is.
Meritocracy?
Merit?
Yeah.
A meritocracy?
Yeah, meritocracy.
Meritocracy.
Yeah, meritocracy.
Yeah. Because I got round of 8 twice.
Because you did well enough in the qualifiers, yeah. I mean, basically showing up to the qualifiers is a pretty good chance to get an invite. It's just rough as a Protoss because there's like 25 Protoss players trying to play and like 2 Zergs and 4 Terrans.
Yeah. They have it much easier. So I managed to qualify despite having the hardest race to qualify with.
Yeah, we can call it.
How many people will be playing in this tournament, and when is it?
20, and it's on. The groups are like Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'm not here Sunday.
Then you don't have to play Sunday. That's okay. Find someone else on Sunday. And then it's like
nice.
Saturday, Sunday next week is playoffs, but I don't know if that matters for you.
No, it will be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I have nothing going on. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Right, let's see that, mate.
Oh, you made a joke that I won't go to the playoffs.
What?
You said, but I'm not sure if that matters to you when you're talking about the playoffs.
No, because I know how available you are on the weekends usually, as long as it's a week in advance.
Okay, cool.
You know, like I know if you've got plans, like I know if you know the StarCraft coming up, you'll just not make plans.
True. Yeah.
Throw the wife to the wayside. I know how it is.
Yes. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you later, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, everybody. Thank you. Catch up on a couple of subs. Yes, username available. 8-month resub on the Prime. KJ on the 87-month resub as well. Thank you so much. If you guys have enjoyed the games today, do consider following the channel, subscribing, subscribing, donating, cheering. Like the video and subscribe on YouTube as well if you don't already. All of it helps us to keep on running more WardiTV tournaments. We will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day off for the week, so I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I will be back on Saturday. We'll be covering the Alima League from replays again. So Alima League once again plays on Saturday morning. We will provide Saturday evening a live replay cast. You guys know how we go. So we'll be doing that on Saturday evening. And yeah, we'll be back with that on Saturday. So we'll be back on Saturday with that. And then on Sunday we'll have Group A of this tournament. I'll be getting that organized over the next little bit. I'm going to go invite some players and stuff and get that all figured out. So we'll get that sorted out and been operational. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll run some ads on the outro. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for more StarCraft 2 action on the Twitch, on the YouTube. Obviously, YouTube uploads continue tonight and tomorrow as well. So you guys will not go without StarCraft there. So yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, look after yourselves. Bye.